Free starter on the mound pitching most of the ball game. Bullpen came on late. Houston has such a good bullpen. It was a whale of a game. It was a 2-1 game going to the ninth inning. And then the Astros broke it open with Ken Cabinetti hitting a 3-run homer.
The rookie Darrell Ward hit a home run to break the tie in the 6th inning. And then the Astros got a tremendous relief outing out of Doug Henry, the former Met, against the heart of the Braves batting order in the bottom of the 8th inning to keep the game at 2-1. And then they got 4 runs in the 9th. So game 2 of that series will be tomorrow afternoon with Kevin Millwood trying to get even for the Braves against Jose Lima. Now the Diamondbacks are taking the field, and Bob will get you checked out on the starting lineups.
Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Bob Stores, the official athletic wear store of the New York Mets. The Mets are the visiting team here at Bank One Ballpark. Bobby Valentine had to make adjustments in the lineup with the hard-throwing left-hander Randy Johnson pitching. Ricky Henderson in left field leading off. Edgardo Alfonzo, a real star last night at Cincinnati, playing second base and batting second. John Olerud, the first baseman, bats third. Mike Piazza will catch and bat cleanup. Vinny Agbayani will be in right field, hitting number 5. Robin Ventura at third base, bats sixth. Sean Dunston will be in center field to add a right-handed bat. Dunston will bat 7th. Ray Ordonez in shortstop batting 8th. And the Mets pitcher Masato Yoshi will be hitting 9th. Tony Womack will play right field and bat leadoff. He also won the stolen base title. Jay Bell, who led this Diamondback ball club in home runs, will be at second base batting second. Luis Gonzalez had a terrific season. He will be in left field batting third. Matt Williams, a candidate for the MVP award, playing third base and batting cleanup. Uribe Durazo, the sensational rookie from Mexico, playing first base, hitting number 5. Steve Finley hit a surprising 34 home runs. Finley in center field batting 6th. A youngster, Hanley Frias at shortstop, got a chance to play in the National League when Tony Batista was traded away to Toronto. So Frias at shortstop, followed by a former Met, Kelly Stinnett, the catcher, batting 8th, and on the mound, the big unit, 6'10" Randy Johnson. Umpires at every base, umpires on the foul lines tonight. Every seat taken here at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a beautiful evening. Not sizzling hot the way it was the last time the Mets were here. Now Ricky Henderson steps in. Are you ready? We're ready to go, and to paint the word picture for you, here's Gary Cohen.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Ricky Henderson, who has more postseason experience than any Met. First pitch by Randy Johnson is a slider taken low, 1-0. Ricky's been in 44 postseason games with the Blue Jays and the Oakland Athletics, and he has a lifetime postseason batting average of .288. Ricky hit .315 this year, pitched by the big unit. This is inside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. There are no Mets who have had any degree of success against Randy Johnson. Henderson hitting lifetime .152 against Randy. Here's the 2-0 pitch, hit foul, backing out of play, 2-1. 7 for 46, but he has walked 22 times against Johnson. Now, early in his career, Randy had terrible control. 3 times he led the American League in walks while pitching for Seattle. That has completely changed. This year, Randy Johnson was in the top 10 in the league in fewest walks per 9 innings. Just 2.3 walks per 9, 12.1 strikeouts per 9 innings. The 2-1 pitch to Henderson, up and away, ball 3, and Randy Johnson falls behind 3-1. Randy, lifetime in the postseason, is 2-5, and he's lost his last 5 decisions ever since winning Game 5 of the division series against the Yankees in '95. 3-1 pitch, hit foul, back into the crowd, and a full count to Henderson, 3-2. Around the Arizona infield there, Rubiel Durazo plays first base, Jay Bell at second, Hanley Frias the shortstop, and Matt Williams at third. In the outfield, Luis Gonzalez in left field, Steve Finley in center, and Tony Womack in right. Kelly Stinnett doing the catching. Usually Damian Miller catches Randy Johnson, but Miller has a hairline fracture of his thumb. Stinnett gets the call tonight. 3-2 pitch, hit foul, straight back, and Henderson hangs in at 3-2. The Mets and Diamondbacks played 9 times this year, and the Diamondbacks won 7 of the 9, and it was a very high-scoring season series. The Diamondbacks 3 times scored in double figures against the Mets and hit well over 300 as a team. And the Mets didn't do badly either against this vaunted Arizona pitching staff. They hit .281 against Arizona this year. You don't expect that much offense in this series. The 3-2 to Henderson. Hit on the air to shallow center field. Out goes Frias. Coming in is Finley. Finley coming on, and he makes a sliding catch. Terrific play by the former Gold Glover Steve Finley, picking up divots as he went into a slide in shallow center field to catch that bloop hit by Ricky Henderson for the first out of the game. Well, that is a rip-roaring way to start this series. Steve Finley, who was playing pretty deep in center field, came in on the dead run and caught that ball at the midsection as he went into a slide.
Steve Finley can still play a lot of center field for a major league team.
He's won a couple of Gold Gloves in his career back in 95 and 96. So here's Edgardo Alfonzo. Fonzie had the big bat for the Mets last night in Cincinnati. A double and a home run, and he drove in 3 runs. Had that big first inning home run to get the Mets started. Johnson deals, and it's on the outside corner, a strike, 0-1. Randy will throw his fastball up to 97 and 98 miles an hour, and then he'll throw that devastating slider. You can't look for the slider, and you can't adjust to it. The 0-1 pitch and a fastball strike on the inside corner. 0-2 to Alfonso. Fonzie finished the regular season with a 6-game hitting streak, rebounding after a pretty tough month of September. He's had some very big hits for the Mets over the last couple of days.
Boy, he wound up with 191 base hits.
Johnson to the windup, the 0-2 to Alfonso, and a high fly ball hit deep to left center field. Back goes Finley, back onto the track, back near the wall. It's off the wall, and it is in play, or is it out of here? It's out of here! The ball hit the fan and came back on the field. Alfonso has a home run in the first inning for the second straight day, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead against Randy Johnson. Alfonso does it again. A first inning home run. He hit 27 during the year, and now he takes Randy Johnson deep out of the deepest part of the ballpark in distant left center field, right near the 413-foot mark. What a stunning start to this game. 1-0 New York.
I was surprised when you mentioned early on
Olerud takes a strike, 0-1.
that Randy Johnson had given up 30 home runs.
Well, he throws hard, and if you make contact, the ball will fly. Alfonso was behind in the count 0-2, and he hit it out. The pitch to Olerud, low and outside, 1-1. When Olerud and Johnson played in the American League, Olerud would usually sit out when Randy Johnson pitched. That's not unusual for a left-hand batter. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and a slider misses outside, 2-1. So Olerud has only had 5 career at-bats against Randy Johnson, going 0 for 5. Both Olerud and Ventura in the lineup here tonight, although Ventura has been dropped to the 6th hole. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Line drive toward the middle. Base hit going into center field for John Olerud. Oh, is that a big sign for the New York Mets? Olerud with a great swing on a Randy Johnson fastball, and he hit it right back up the middle. Left-handers are just not supposed to get base hits against the big unit.
I don't think Olerud had ever had a base hit against the big unit, and that was really a good-looking base hit. A hard line drive to center field.
Randy Johnson made 35 starts this year. Left-hand hitters had 9 base hits the entire season. 9 for 87, a 103 batting average, and Olerud hit that ball hard. So the Mets looking for more here in the first inning. They have 1 on the board already. Here's Mike Piazza, and the pitch, fastball down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Ricky Henderson had a base hit taken away when Steve Finley made a sliding catch of his bloop. Alfonso hit a home run that just cleared the left center field fence, and Olerud follows with a hard single to center. And the Mets, as they did last night, having their bats going early. The outfield straight away against Piazza. The pitch by Johnson, ground ball off the pitcher's glove toward the middle, past the diving Frias and into center field, a base hit. Olerud stops at second, and Piazza with a ground single to center field. 4 batters into the game. The Mets have 3 base hits off Randy Johnson, and Benny Agbayani will come to the plate. That was a seeing eye single, just got past Johnson's glove, and just past the diving Hanley Frias.
It was awfully close to being a double play. Hanley Frias almost got to it.
Frias does not have nearly the range of a Ray Ordonez. That's a ball that Ray would have put in his pocket. Infield defense is something that the Mets have way over the Arizona Diamondbacks. They've got a terrific third baseman in Matt Williams and an adequate second baseman in Jay Bell. But the rest of it, strictly below average. Here's Benny Agbayani, put in the 5 spot on the batting order tonight, and he takes low inside a slider, 1 ball, no strikes. Benny getting the call tonight. He and Sean Dunston have been in the lineup over the last month or so every time the opposition starts a left-hander. But usually Benny's hitting 6th or 7th. Tonight he's hitting number 5 because the big unit gives lefties so much trouble. First and second and 1 out. Johnson fires, swing and a miss at a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike, and Randy got that pitch up to 97 miles an hour. Agbayani hit .286 this year, 14 home runs and 42 runs batted in. 1-0 New York on an Edgardo Alfonzo home run. Olerud and Piazza following with base hits, and the Mets trying to cash in. The 1-1 pitch, slider, swing and a miss. That pitch was way out of the strike zone. Stinnett had to slide to his left to keep it from being a wild pitch. Agbayani over anxious there, and Johnson with a 1-2 advantage. Robin Ventura, hitting 6th in the order, is standing on deck. Sold out crowd here at Bank One Ballpark, and they're a bit stunned right at the moment. The 1-2 to Agbayani, swing and a miss, he got him. Johnson strikes out Agbayani for the second out of the inning. Here's the first strikeout for Randy Johnson, who struck out 364 batters this year, the 4th highest total in Major League history. Nolan Ryan twice and Sandy Koufax once, the only two who have ever struck out more in a season than Randy Johnson did this year. Here's Robin Ventura. Robin hit .301 this year, 32 homers, 120 RBIs. The pitch, and it's taken low, 1-0. Robin with 6 hits in 34 career at-bats against Randy Johnson, a .176 batting average. Olerud is on second, Piazza at first, and 2 men down. Just getting started here in Arizona, and the Mets already have a 1-0 lead. The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, a strike, 1-1. Sean Dunston is hitting 7th in the order. Dunston playing center field tonight. He's on deck. The roof is open here at Bank One Ballpark. I think the Mets have only seen the roof open here once before. They've always been here in very hot months. The 1-1 to Ventura, pulled foul up the first base side toward the Mets dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Robin. Ventura got to play in the postseason once before. He was with the White Sox in 1993 when they played in the League Championship Series and got beat by Toronto. Mets have 12 players of their 25 who have had some postseason experience. Now Olerud leads from second, Piazza from first. The 1-2 to Ventura, misses inside with a slider, and it's even on Robin, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Randy goes behind the mound and pulls at the rosin bag. 6-foot 10-inch left-hander, now 36 years of age, and he has lost nothing off his fastball. Runners take a lead at first and second. 2-2 to Ventura, pulled foul. Robin hanging tough, bounced it over the first base dugout. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mets have the 2nd highest batting average in the National League this year. They hit .279. The offense went on hiatus for most of the last 2 weeks, but it really started perking up last night, and it seems to have carried over tonight. 3 hits in the opening inning against Randy Johnson, including Alfonzo's home run. The outfield plays toward left against Ventura. The infield straight up. Again, the 2-2 pitch, punched in the air, foul. Off to the left, coming over is Stinnett, diving, but he can't get to it. It lands beyond his reach, right near the on-deck circle on the third base side. Robin hit that ball right off the fist, and I think he broke his bat. So Ventura has fouled off a couple to hang in there against Randy Johnson. There are a lot of left-hand hitters who beg off when Randy Johnson pitches. Most notably Larry Walker, who never plays against Randy Johnson. But the Mets have 2 prime left-hand hitters who play every day, and Olerud and Ventura not shying away tonight. 2-2 to Ventura. Johnson having to work hard here in the opening inning. Now the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Threw a fastball by him at 98 miles an hour. Back-to-back strikeouts for Randy Johnson to end the inning. But the Mets get a run on the Alfonzo home run. 3 hits and 2 men left. Middle of the first at Bank One Ballpark. The Mets won. The Diamondbacks coming up on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Masato Yoshi staked to a 1-0 lead tonight on Edgardo Alfonzo's home run. Yoshi faced the Diamondbacks twice this year. The first one was a thing of beauty. He pitched 6 shutout innings here at Bank One Ballpark in early May and won the game 4-2. The only game the Mets won in that particular 3-game series, in which the Diamondbacks clubbed the Mets in the other 2 games. But then a few weeks later in New York, he hooked up against Randy Johnson, and Yoshi got toasted for 7 runs and 8 hits in 2 2/3. So he's hoping it's more like the former and less like the latter here tonight. Tony Womack leads off, and he takes a pitch up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Womack, for the 3rd straight year, led the National League in stolen bases. First 2 years with Pittsburgh, this year with Arizona, he stole 72. Left-hand batter, the 1-0 pitch, and it's taken low 2-0. And if you want to beat Arizona, you absolutely have got to keep Tony Womack off base. He'll be on second automatically, and the guys behind him have all had great years. The 2-0 pitch, and that's inside, ball 3, and Yoshi immediately behind 3-0. And he knows this is something he cannot afford to do. Womack hit .277 this year. He's been drawing more walks this season than he ever did in the past. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's a call, strike 3-1.
Tomorrow night, Gary, he'll probably be at shortstop because the Mets are pitching a left-hander.
They'll put Bernard Gilkey out in right field. The outfield shallow and straight away against Womack. The 3-1 pitch. That's a call, strike on the inside corner. Good slider by Yoshi to get it full at 3-2. Last year, the entire Arizona team stole 73 bases. This year, Womack stole 72 by himself. He is a tremendous running threat. The 3-2 from Yoshi and a high pop-up third base side and foul ground. Ventura coming over near the dugout. May have room, and he makes the catch. Ventura right at the opening to the Arizona dugout. Catches the foul pop-up by Womack. Yoshi battling back from 3-0 to get the first out.
Boy, that's good when you come back from 3-0 and get the hitter out.
Jay Bell, the number 2 hitter, an extraordinary season for Bell, who was a washout last year in his first year in Arizona. This year, he hit an incredible 38 home runs and drove in 112. Bell had never hit more than 21 home runs in any season in his career, but he hit 38 this year. And a fastball knee high for a strike, 0-1. Bell hit .289, and he finished the season very strong. He hit 7 home runs in his last 12 games.
Who would think he would hit more home runs than Matt Williams?
The 1 by Yoshi and the 0-1 to Bell, and a splitter taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Diamondbacks finished the season extremely strong. They won 21 of their last 27 games. They were in a battle with the Giants earlier in the year, going back and forth for first place in the West, and then they just flat ran away with it. The 1-1 pitch, and it's taken high. 2 balls and a strike. The Mets defensive alignment is brought to you by Medico Security Locks. Don't accept imitations. Ask for it by name. Medico. Around the Mets infield, John Olerud playing first, Edgardo Alfonzo at second, Ray Ordonez at short, and Robin Ventura at third. The 2-1, splitter, and a foul tip that struck Mike Piazza in the leg, and Mike jumps around. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ricky Henderson playing left field, Sean Dunston playing center. Sean plays a very deep center field. Benny Agbayani in right. Mike Piazza doing the catching for the 34-year-old right-hander from Japan, Masato Yoshi. Yoshi, over his last 9 starts, 5-1 with a 1.74 ERA. That's how good he's been over the final 2 months of the season. Yoshi had a no decision his last time out against the Braves, a game in which he pitched very well for 6 2/3. That's the game the Mets lost in 11 on Thursday night. The last loss. The 2-2 pitch, drive in the air to deep center field, cutting toward right center. Dunston, he gets there, and Dunston makes the catch. Bell hit that ball hard to right center, but Dunston, who plays deep, was in the right position to catch that for the second out. So 2 up and 2 set aside, and here comes Luis Gonzalez. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, contact your local RE/MAX office. No one in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Luis Gonzalez, a journeyman player, became a star this year. He got off to a tremendous start this season, had a 30-game hitting streak in April and May, and he never let up. He wound up hitting .336 with 26 home runs and 111 runs batted in. Left-hand batter with a wide-open stance. Yoshi delivers, and he misses high, 1-0. The home plate umpire tonight is Brian Gorman. Wally Bell is working at first base. Mark Hirschbeck at second. Dana DeMuth at third. The crew chief, Randy Marsh, in left field, and Paul Schreiber down the right field line. The 1-0 pitch taken high, 2-0. Normally in a 7-game series, you'll have the crew chief work the plate in the first and 7th game. In a 5-game series, they put the crew chief out in left field, so he would be rotated to home for game 5. The 2-0 pitch, and that misses just outside. Piazza framed it an extra moment, but Brian Gorman said no. 3 balls and no strikes. Matt Williams waiting on deck. Yoshi fell behind the leadoff batter Womack 3-0, but came back to get him. Now behind Gonzalez 3-0. Here's the pitch on the outside corner, a strike, 3-1. Yoshi, during this hot stretch, has really cut down on his walks. Earlier in the season, he was walking 4 or 5 a game, but not anymore. He's been walking 1 or 2 most starts. The 3-1 pitch, swing, and a foul tip straight down. He took a lot off the splitter that time, and a full count to Gonzalez, 3-2.
Boy, he throws that behind him, the count 3-1.
Got a lot of confidence in that splitter. It's been a mainstay for him down the stretch of the season. 3-2 to Luis Gonzalez. The outfield playing straight away and deep. Matt Williams looming on deck. Yoshi out of the windup. The 3-2 pitch. Line drive toward the gap in right center field. Cutting across is Dunston. Diving. And did he get it? No, he dropped it. On his way to second, Gonzalez. Here comes Dunston's throw. Not in time. Sean Dunston with a tremendous effort. Made a diving attempt over in the gap in right center field. Had his glove on the ball, but it came out. And Gonzalez legs it into a two-base hit.
Marvelous try by Sean Dunston. And I thought for a second he was going to be able to hold on.
So there's the first Arizona hit of the game. And Matt Williams will come to the plate with a tying run at second base. 1-0 New York on Alfonzo's home run. That was a well-struck line drive by Luis Gonzalez. And Dunston, who really plays pedal to the metal, raced as hard as he could and made a dive. Had it, but couldn't hold it. So here's Williams. 142 runs batted in this year. 35 home runs. And Williams hit .303, coming back from a subpar 1998. Right-hand batter with the bat high over his head. The pitch, swing, and a miss. Great splitter by Yoshi to start him off. He had Williams badly fooled. Matt Williams asked to be traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks so he could be closer to his kids. He came here last year and had an awful season. But he and Jay Bell, both with big money contracts, turned it completely around this year with a better cast around them. The 0-1 pitch and a splitter taken low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think he would have retired had he not been traded here to the Diamondbacks.
Williams finished second in the National League this year in runs batted in, 3 behind Mark McGwire. 5 behind Mark McGwire, who finished with 147. 1-1 the count to Williams. Erubiel Durazo, the left-hand batting first baseman, on deck. Gonzalez at second and 2 down. Yoshi's 1-1 pitch just off the outside corner, and Yoshi barely missing the edges, not quite getting the calls that he'd like to early on in this game from Brian Gorman, the home plate umpire. Sellout crowd here at Bank One Ballpark. There wasn't a ticket to be found anywhere in the state of Arizona. This is a hard sellout. Fans flocking from far and wide. The 2-1 to Williams. Changeup popped up on the right side of the infield. Olerud under it on the infield grass. Olerud makes the catch and the inning is over. Yoshi pitches around a double here in the first inning. And the Mets finish inning number 1 with the lead. No runs, a base hit, and a man left on. 1 inning complete at Bank One Ballpark. The Mets won, the Diamondbacks nothing on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Second inning, 1-0 New York. Sean Dunston will lead off against Randy Johnson. Dunston getting the start in center field tonight against the left-hander. And he almost made an extraordinary catch in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Dunston, then Ray Ordonez and Masato Yoshi against Johnson, who gave up 3 straight hits in the first inning, including Edgardo Alfonzo's home run. Boy, has Fonzie come up big his first trip to the plate the last 2 nights. Homered last night in Cincinnati and again tonight. The pitch to Dunston, hit in the air to right field. Standing his ground, Tony Womack right there waiting. And Womack makes the catch. Dunston retired on 1 pitch. It'll bring up Ray Ordonez. First, we'll pause for station identification on the WFAN Mets Radio Network.
NHL, the Rangers drop their home opener, falling 2-1 to Ottawa. Listen to Imus in the Morning tomorrow from 5:30 to 10 a.m. right here on WFAN New York.
Gary Cohen, Bob Murphy with you from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. Top of the second inning in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. Mets with a 1-0 lead. Ray Ordonez takes high outside from Randy Johnson, 1-0. Ray finished the season extremely strong at the plate. Over his last 8 games, he had .345 and finished the year at .258. The 1-0 pitch up and away, and Johnson behind 2-0. Ordonez has some gaudy numbers against the Diamondbacks this year. He hit .440 against Arizona pitching. The Diamondbacks finished second in the league in pitching to the Braves. The pitch, fastball strike on the outside corner, 2-1. I don't think that came as a big surprise because the Diamondbacks went out and got Randy Johnson and Todd Stottlemyre and Armando Reynoso to go with Omar Dahl and Andy Bennis. The 2-1 pitch, below the knees with a fastball, 3-1.
They've got a lot of quality pitching. And then the big deal they made during the season was when they got the closer, Matt Manti, from the Marlins.
Here's the wind by Johnson, the 3-1 pitch. Inside corner for a strike. Ordonez took a step toward first. Brian Gorman called him back, and Gorman is at a very strange strike zone here in the first inning. 3-2 to Ray Ordonez. Masato Yoshi waiting on deck. 1-0 New York. We're in the top of the second. The outfield a couple of strides toward right. The 3-2 to Ray. Punched foul, backing out of play. 3-2. Ray has seen more 3-2 counts in the last 2 weeks than he probably has in his entire career. He has become an incredibly patient hitter recently. Mickey Brantley, the hitting coach, has worked with Ray a little bit, changed his stance so that he's facing the pitcher a little bit more, and it's given Ray a little bit more time to check pitches out and be more patient, and it's really working. Now Johnson out of the windup, 3-2 to Ordonez. In there for a call, strike 3. Johnson threw the slider on 3-2, and he dented the outside corner with it, and Ordonez goes down looking. Third strikeout for Randy Johnson. 2 out and nobody on for Masato Yoshi. We'll get you updated on the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Chase Manhattan Bank. The right relationship is everything. In the National League Division Series this afternoon, Houston stunned Atlanta 6-1. Shane Reynolds bested Greg Maddox, Darrell Ward, and Ken Caminetti with Astros home runs. Yoshi takes a strike, 0-1. Tonight in the American League Division Series, it's been all Yankees over Texas again. 8-0 Yankees. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning in the Bronx. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and a 2-strike count on Yoshi. Bernie Williams, a 3-run homer. El Duque working on a 2-hitter through 8 innings. Last year, Texas scored 1 run in 3 games against the Yankees, and they haven't scored tonight. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a foul back by Yoshi, still 0-2.
Pitchers should not have to go up and face the big unit. Doesn't seem right.
I don't think it seems right for anybody.
Especially pitchers, though.
Not a whole lot of fun. Yoshi had a much better year with the bat this year. He had 9 hits after only 3 last year. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. 4 strikeouts for Randy Johnson. He has a 1-2-3 second inning. Nothing across, middle of the second in Phoenix. Mets 1, Diamondbacks nothing on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Home second inning, 1-0 New York. Rubiel Durazo will lead off against Masato Yoshi. Yoshi gave up a 2-out double to Luis Gonzalez in the first inning, but got through the inning by getting Matt Williams to pop up. Rubiel Durazo, one of the exceptional surprise stories in Major League Baseball this year. This is a kid who played 2 years in the Mexican League for Monterrey, and the Diamondbacks signed him last December after he hit .350 in the Mexican League last year. And he went to the minor leagues this year and just absolutely tore things up. He hit over 400 at AA and again at AAA. Travis Lee was struggling in midseason. They called Durazo up in late July, and he continued right on the pace he had been going out in the minor leagues. He wound up hitting .329 for Arizona in 155 at-bats, 11 home runs, and 30 runs batted in.
He's a native of Mexico. It is a huge surprise story. But he knew all along, I guess, that he wanted to play big league ball because he went to high school in Arizona.
Also went to junior college here in the Phoenix area, then went back to Mexico to play for a couple of years, and here he is. Left-hand batter, the pitch by Yoshi hit foul straight back. Travis Lee had trouble with ineffectiveness and injury all season, and he was left off the postseason roster, which was only a small surprise. Lee, who had a big rookie season last year, is now an afterthought for the Diamondbacks. They're thinking about moving him to the outfield next year because Durazo has been so good. Durazo, a big, stocky guy, kind of built like Tino Martinez. Here's the wind by Yoshi. The 0-1 to Durazo, and a fastball missing inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Steve Finley on deck, and then Hanley Frias. So 3 left-handed bats in a row coming up against Yoshi here in the home second inning. Mets with a 1-0 lead on Edgardo Alfonzo's home run against Randy Johnson in the first inning. The outfield deep and around toward right. The 1-1 to Durazo, lined in the air to center field, but standing his ground. Dunston now coming in a couple of steps, and he makes the catch. That ball had a little tail on it at the end as Durazo lined it to center field. So the Diamondbacks have hit some balls hard against Yoshi here in the first couple of innings. 1 out and nobody on. Here's Steve Finley. Mets baseball is brought to you in part by the Bell Atlantic calling card. Call 1-800-255-CALL. That's 1-800-255-CALL. Steve Finley had himself a tremendous season this year. 34 home runs, 103 runs batted in, and he hit .264. Left-hand batter, the pitch by Yoshi. Fastball call strike on the inside edge, 0-1. Last year, Steve Finley playing for the National League champion Padres, did not have a good year at all. He hit .249, 14 homers, 67 RBIs. Came here to Arizona as a free agent, and he just tore it up. The 0-1 hit on the ground toward the hole into right field, a base hit. Picked up by Agbayani and played back in. The Diamondbacks have their second hit of the game. Mets were playing the infield around toward right, but Finley was still able to split the hole between Olerud and Alfonzo and sneak one through into right field. So 1 out and 1 on for the switch-hitting shortstop, Hanley Frias. Early in the year, the Diamondbacks were going with a group effort at shortstop with Andy Fox and Tony Batista getting most of the playing time. Batista was traded away in June to Toronto in the deal that brought Dan Plesac to Arizona, and Plesac certainly has helped their bullpen. Andy Fox played most of the shortstop the rest of the way, but Frias has been playing recently. Hit on the ground, back to the mound, knocked down by Yoshi, turns, throws to second, low throw, but handled by Ordonez, and they get the force play. Yoshi knocked that ball down at the front of the mound, still felt he had time to get the force, but he bounced the throw, and Ordonez did a great job picking it out of the dirt as Finley was sliding in, and they get the 1-6 force play for the second out.
Boy, Ray Ordonez kept that from being a very ugly play. I don't know how he does it at times. He's just miraculous.
Had Yoshi been able to field that ball cleanly on the first hop, they probably would have been a double play. As it is, the Mets are fortunate they got 1 out. So 2 on the runner at first. Here's Kelly Stinnett, the former Met. The catcher hitting number 8 in the order, right-hand batter. And the pitch, fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The Diamondbacks were undecided about their catching for the postseason as late as yesterday because Stinnett, who has split time with Damian Miller, has a hairline fracture of his thumb. They tested him yesterday, and they said he was okay to go. Check swing, foul ball, back 0-2. But usually when Randy Johnson pitches, it's Damian Miller who's behind the plate. But because Miller has got that problem with his thumb, Stinnett is getting the start here tonight. Stinnett and Miller have split the time behind the plate just about evenly this year.
I read a quote from Damian Miller today in the local paper. He was really thinking he probably would play here tonight.
Buck Showalter wanted to give it an extra day, so Stinnett will probably start at least the first 2 games of the series. Frias at first and 2 men down. Yoshi's 0-2 to Stinnett, just off the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think managers will do that just about every time. When a player tells a manager, I'm ready to play, he'll say, all right, and then give him 2 more days off.
Stinnett hit just .232 this year, but he finished the season strong. Hit .391 over his last 6 games. Stocky right-hand batter. The outfield and the infield play him a bit toward left. Frias a big lead at first. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a foul straight back, still 1-2. The Arizona Diamondbacks last year as a first-year expansion team won 65 games and finished dead last in the National League West. This year they improved their standing by 35 games. They won 100 games and lost only 62. It's the best improvement from one year to the next in Major League Baseball in this century. Broke the record set by the 1903 New York Giants. Imagine that. The 1-2 pitch hit foul straight back. Of course, this day and age, you can improve that fast because of free agency. That's why a second-year expansion team can win 100 games and make it to the playoffs. In fact, going from last place to first place, the Diamondbacks became the 6th team in history to do that, to go from worst to first. All 6 times it's happened have been in the 1990s because the landscape has changed with free agency. The 1-2 to Stinnett, runner goes, and it's popped up out near the mound. Coming in is Ordonez. Ordonez is under it, near second base now, makes the catch to retire Stinnett, and the inning is over. So Yoshi sets him down, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. 2 in the books now in Arizona. The Mets 1, the Diamondbacks nothing on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. We go to the 3rd inning here at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. Mets got off to a stunning start when Edgardo Alfonzo homered off Randy Johnson in the 1st inning. You get the feeling, though, Bob, watching Randy the last inning or so, it may be hard to get a whole lot more.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be very, very difficult. You take him whatever you can get him when you're up against a guy like Randy Johnson. Ricky Henderson will bat for the 2nd time, leading off in the 3rd. Ricky hit a fly ball to shallow center field, leading off the ball game. Steve Finley is an excellent center fielder. He had to run as hard as he could run coming toward the infield to make the grab. It was a very good play by Steve Finley. So Ricky Henderson, who batted .315 during the regular season, stole 37 bases. Fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Randy Johnson is going to throw fastballs and sliders for the most part. Fastball will be 97, 98 miles per hour. Foul ball back upstairs and out of play. If you're in the Phoenix area, be sure to take a look at the Bank One ballpark. It's really an interesting looking ballpark. I like it better when the roof is open, don't you, Gary?
Always better to play outdoors than indoors.
And you get to play on natural grass here. That's awfully good, too. 1-1 pitch now to Ricky. Way inside and low. 2-1.
Well, the grass looks better tonight than we've ever seen it before here. They've had to resod this field so many times over the last 2 years because the grass has not grown very well.
It's so unbelievably hot here for a couple of months out of the summer. Low ball 3, and the big unit goes 3-1.
Well, a lot of other cities are building retractable roof stadiums with grass, and they're worried because it doesn't seem as though the grass has grown very well indoors here.
Yeah, they're building one in Houston right now. 3-1 pitch, outside ball 4, and Ricky has worked out a walk, and he is the leadoff batter in the inning. So there's the first walk by the big unit. Edgardo Alfonzo coming to bat. Edgardo hit a high fly that carried deep to left center field and cleared the fence out about 380 feet from home plate. For Edgardo, it was his 28th home run of the year. Plate umpire tonight is Brian Gorman, good young umpire. His father, Tom, was a terrific umpire. And a fastball for a strike on the inside corner. Randy Johnson stands 6'10", weighs about 230, and he can throw a baseball through a wall. He throws it so hard. Cookie Rojas coaching at third, Mookie Wilson at first. We're now in the third, and the Mets have a 1-0 lead. Would Ricky Henderson contemplate a steal? Foul ball hit down the right field line. Pretty hard to steal off left-handers.
Although Randy Johnson's got such a big delivery to home plate, if you can read him, you can run on him. But Ricky has not been stealing any bases over the last month.
No, I don't think that leg muscle is exactly what he wants it to be yet. 2-strike count now on Edgardo Alfonzo. This game is brought to you by OmniPoint, New York's premier 100% digital wireless service. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI for more details. Ricky with a short lead at first base. There he goes. Here's the pitch. Fouled off back into the crowd. It looked like Ricky was stealing, but the ball was a good pitch to hit. So Fonzie tried to hit it and fouled it off.
Well, Alfonzo had to protect the plate with 2 strikes, but Ricky got a good running start that time. He took a walking lead, and Johnson never looked him back.
Ricky Henderson on first base. 2-strike count on Edgardo Alfonzo. Next up will be John Olerud, and Olerud singled off the big unit his first time at bat. Johnson 17-9 on the year. Foul ball, that's back into the crowd once again. It's easy to see how you can be late against Randy Johnson and foul a lot of pitches back into the crowd. They have drawn just over 3 million this season here into the Bank One ballpark in Phoenix. You know who's had a tremendous year at the gate, but won very few ball games? The St. Louis Cardinals. Now Randy Johnson throws to first base, and Ricky gets back. Mark McGwire has just packed the ballpark in St. Louis night after night after night. They've drawn about 3.5 million fans.
Mark McGwire would trade a bunch of his home runs to be playing right now.
Yeah, he sure would. Throw to first is not in time. Diving back, Ricky Henderson. Yeah, the Cardinals did not fare well in games that saw McGwire hit home runs.
Well, he's been there for almost 2.5 years now, and the Cardinals have been disappointing all through that stretch. And I wonder whether all the attention paid to McGwire has had anything at all to do with it.
It's hard to know. Now Randy Johnson checks the runner at first. Off the outside corner, that just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tony La Russa was a winner his first year in St. Louis. And since then, the Cardinals have really been struggling. Mookie Wilson has a word with Ricky Henderson. Ricky reached on a walk. He's on first. Now the pitch. Ground ball slowly hit foul down the third baseline. So the duel goes on here between Randy Johnson and Edgardo Alfonzo.
Well, if nothing else, Fonzie is making Johnson work, and the Mets have run a lot of deep counts early in this game against the big unit. Randy will stay out there and throw 140 or 150 pitches, so that's not a great consequence, but the more pitches you see, the more you can time that fastball, the better off you're going to be late in the game.
Yeah, he's incredibly strong. He can throw 140 or 150, as you say, and still be throwing at 95, 96, maybe 98 miles an hour. Ricky Henderson takes a short lead. And the pitch on the way, a breaking ball outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Last night, Al Leiter wound up throwing 135 pitches, and you never would have known it. He was so good.
You've never seen Al Leiter any better than he was last night in Cincinnati. He gave up a single in the second inning and nothing more until the 9th, when he gave up a 2-base hit. A 2-hit shutout for Al Leiter. Bluffing a throw to first now is Randy Johnson. Diamondbacks have their infield at double play depth. Jay Bell at second, Hanley Frias at shortstop. Swing and a miss, got him with a high hardwood. 5 strikeouts now for Randy Johnson.
Well, that pitch was in another gear. Randy had been throwing 94 and 95 during that at bat. The last pitch was 98.
No way you can catch up with that pitch, and it was up high, too. So John Olerud will try his hand for his second time, and Olerud did a good job his first time up in the opening inning when he lined a single to center field. Olerud closing out the year, batting at .298. And a toss to first base is not in time. In addition, John Olerud drew 125 walks. Among the National League leaders in on-base percentage. Solid year for John Olerud. Had a great start to it. Tailed off a little bit coming down the stretch. The big unit deals way inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
The last few days, though, John Olerud has been hitting the ball a lot better. He had that double early on in the game in Cincinnati last night. He's starting to turn on balls a little bit now, which he wasn't doing for a long period of time.
Baseball is such a long season. Your good hitters will have real good spells, and they'll have a few bad spells. There goes the runner. The pitch is low. The throw by Stinnett, the slide. Stolen base. Ricky Henderson steals second. For Ricky, his 38th stolen base of the year. Now he's in scoring position.
Ricky Henderson has had a lot of time to look at Randy Johnson's move over the years. When he walked here in the third, it was the 23rd time he had walked against Randy in his career. He studied the move, and he studied the move, and he finally found one to run on, and he beat that throw easily.
Yeah, he's seen him for a long time. Randy Johnson had almost a decade pitching for the Seattle Mariners, including 95 when he won the Cy Young. That year he won 18 and only 2. Left-hander against left-hander. Fastball down the middle for a call strike. So it's 2 balls and a strike now on John Olerud. Well, when you win 18 and lose only 2, you've had quite a year. Randy Johnson will be a candidate for the Cy Young this year. If he should win it, he'd have the distinction of having won in both leagues. But I have a feeling that Mike Hampton might be the man pitching for Houston. Fastball for a strike call.
You can certainly make the argument that with better support, Randy Johnson would have won 22 or 23 games this year, but the fact is he didn't, and Hampton did.
That's right.
Hampton went 22 and 4.
Jose Lima also won over 20 games. Shane Reynolds just missed out. But Reynolds made up for it today, beating Greg Maddux. Here's the 2-2. High fly ball, well hit toward deep right field. Way back it may go. It's gone. It is gone. A 2-run homer for John Olerud. The Mets are in front 3-0. John Olerud got a hold of it. pulled it. Beautiful stroke deep into right field for Olerud, his 20th home run of the year. The Mets now have a 3-0 lead.
Well, we were just talking about the fact that Olerud had been showing signs of breaking out and turning on the ball in a way that he hadn't in a long time. And he turned on that hanging slider from Randy Johnson and crushed it. The first home run against Randy Johnson by a left-hand batter this entire season. And what a huge one for John Olerud.
Mets have a 3-0 lead, and Mike Piazza is the batter. Fastball high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. That was a beautiful home run to watch in flight. Tony Womack, the right fielder, started back, but all he could do was watch it. Well hit fly ball deep to center field by Mike Piazza. Racing back Steve Finley. Finley makes the catch in front of the center field wall. Steve Finley was able to get there just in the nick of time. Piazza hit it all the way to the 407 mark.
Well, the Mets are really making a statement right now against Randy Johnson. They know if they can win this game tonight, they're going to be in a great position to win this series. Nobody expects you to beat the big unit, and now they've taken them deep twice in the first 3 innings.
Yeah, if they could win here tonight, that upset against Randy Johnson, it would really be mind-blowing. Benny Agbayani standing in against the big unit. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Edgardo Alfonzo homered in the first inning. John Olerud is in a 2-run homer here in the 3rd inning. Fastball outside, taken by Benny. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's got to be weighing on Randy's mind. He knows he's got that 5-game losing streak in postseason.
Here's the 2-0 delivery. Foul ball, just barely got a piece of that. Mets Radio would like to recognize John Donovan of Local 21 as the United Association member of the game. The United Association, making life livable for all Americans. Over for a call strike to Benny Agbayani. Benny's done a good job. He's helped the Mets on a lot of occasions this year. Finished the year hitting about 286. And the pitch. Too high, lets it go. So the count is full now, 3-2. The leadoff walk to Ricky Henderson would come back to haunt Randy Johnson. Now the unit has a full count of 3-2. Swing and a foul ball scribbled, coming straight back.
Johnson's had his good fastball here tonight, but he has not had the good slider. He threw a hanging slider that Olerud hit out of the ballpark, and he seemed to push that last one that Agbayani fouled off.
Now we have a full count to Benny Agbayani, 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Foul ball into the crowd down the right field line. Mets have 3 runs on 4 hits. The Diamondbacks, no runs and 2 hits. So Masato Yoshi can have that exceptional night. And he's been putting them together. The Mets will get off to a good start. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's 6 strikeouts already for Randy Johnson. Side retired, 2 runs. 1 hit, a 2-run homer by John Olerud. Nobody left on. At the end of 2.5 innings at the Bank One ballpark, Mets 3 and the Diamondbacks nothing on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Soon we'll be hitting for the first time, leading off here in the last half of the 3rd. We pause for station identification on the WFAN Mets Radio Network.
Yankees shut out Texas 8-0. Astros over the Braves 6-1. Rangers lose to Ottawa 2-1. Listen to Imus in the morning today, 5:30 to 10 on WFAN New York.
Bob Murphy with Gary Cohen. It's the last of the 3rd now here in Phoenix. Randy Johnson has 12 hits this year. First pitch is over at the knees for a straight call. Masato Yoshi with a record of 12-8 on the mound for the Mets. The important thing about Yoshi in his last 8 starts, he's won 5 and lost only 1 with a 1.61 ERA. Swinging a slow grounder right side of the infield. In comes Alfonzo. Plenty of time. Throws on to first. 1 out. Boy, that was really a slow ground ball. So 1 out and nobody on. Now to the top of the batting order for the right fielder, the speedy Tony Womack. Womack led the National League in stolen bases for a 3rd straight year. Interestingly enough, when the opposition starts a left-hander, Bucky Showalter likes to play Bernard Gilkey, so he brings Tony Womack in to play short and puts Gilkey in at right field. Yogi with only limited time this year, but he's had a pretty darn good year. And the pitch by Yoshi. Fastball over, strike one called.
In addition to their hitting attack, which led the league in runs scored, and their pitching, the Diamondbacks have a great bench.
Oh, and how?
They've had the best pinch hitting numbers in the National League.
Their number was over 300. Fly ball hit pretty deep to left on the run. Ricky Henderson. He cannot reach it. It's over his head, bouncing against the wall. Womack is on his way to third, and the relay throw to third will not be made. Tony Womack has tripled over the head of Ricky Henderson. And you can hear the roar of the sellout crowd here at the Bank One ballpark. And that first one up, it looked like Ricky might have a chance to get under it.
Well, you don't expect Tony Womack, a left-hand hitter, to hit the ball that far to left field.
No, you certainly don't. He's not a power hitter anyhow, but he hit that one a long way. During the season, Tony Womack had 4 home runs, but he had 10 three-base hits. So that's his 11th triple if you combine the numbers. Now the hitter is Jay Bell, the second baseman, and he led the Diamondbacks in home runs. He collected 38 home runs during the year. 38 home runs and 112 RBIs. Mets are playing the infield back. Pitch on the way to Jay Bell, and a fly ball hit the center field. It'll be an easy play. Womack is tagging up. The catch is made. He'll come home to score. Throw coming in will not be nearly in time. So a sacrifice fly and RBI for for Jay Bell. Now it is a 3-1 ball game. The number 3 hitter is Luis Gonzalez, the left fielder. He's had a sensational year. Something of a journeyman ball player in past years, but he certainly blossomed in the real start of this year. He thought about trying to join the Tampa Bay club, but Tampa Bay said they wanted to go in a different direction to try to get younger players. He wound up here in Phoenix. Inside, it's 1 ball and no strikes.
The Diamondbacks traded a young, underachieving outfielder named Kareem Garcia to Detroit to get Luis Gonzalez. What a deal that's been.
Now the windup by Masato Yoshi, and the pitch on the way hit hard. Foul ball down the right field line. That'll be back into the big crowd. Now it's a 3-1 ball game. Mets lead by 2. Mets have hit 2 home runs off the big unit. Matt Williams is out on deck. Brian Gorman gives timeout to the hitter Luis Gonzalez. Pitch thrown as a fastball coming in high inside. The year has not been a fluke by any means for Luis Gonzalez. He got more than 200 base hits. He finished the year with 206. 45 doubles and 26 home runs. Line drive down the right field line. That's a foul ball. Just foul. Oh, that was mashed by Luis Gonzalez. So the count is even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike Piazza hands the bat to Luis Gonzalez as he gets back to the batter's box. A triple by Tony Womack and a sacrifice fly. And just like that, the Diamondbacks get on the board. So it's 3-1 New York. We're playing in the home 3rd inning. Fastball just a little bit low. Full count, 3-2. Matt Williams waiting on deck, hoping that Gonzalez will save him a turn at bat. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High foul fly. That'll wind up in the crowd. No play. Count holding at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yankees have won their opening game, shutting out the Texas Rangers.
What else is new?
Not much. They do it every year. Rangers are confident coming in this year. 3-2 delivery. Drive well, hit the center field on the run. Sean Dunston way back, makes the catch. Sean Dunston, with his wonderful speed, was able to get under that on the warning track over 400 feet from home plate. Wow, what a drive that was. 1 run on 1 hit, nobody left on. After 3 innings in Phoenix, Arizona, it's the Mets 3 and the Diamondbacks 1 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Now Robin Ventura hits against the big unit as the game progresses to the 4th inning. And the out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Newsday. It's where you live. Robin Ventura was struck out his first time up. Randy Johnson has already posted 6 strikeouts. Now the sky-screaming left-hander throws a fastball that is over the plate for a strike call. Center fielder Steve Finley playing a couple of strides to left center, figuring that Ventura will not pull the ball against Randy Johnson. That's probably good logic. Line drive right down the right field line for a base hit. And Robin Ventura did pull it. He's around first on his way to second base. He'll go in standing with a 2-base hit. Oh, my. Left-handed hitters are not supposed to do that to Randy Johnson. But Ventura, with a fast bat, got around, hit a wicked line drive between the first baseman Durazo and the bag and down the line into the corner.
Well, this is absolutely stunning. We mentioned earlier, Randy Johnson in 35 starts this year gave up a total of 9 base hits against left-handed batters. Well, Olerud tonight is 2 for 2, including the first home run by a left-hand hitter against Johnson. And now Ventura has stroked a very hard-hit double.
Sean Dunston now will take his turn at bat. On the scoreboard, we mentioned that the Yankees shut out the Texas Rangers 8-0. El Duque Orlando Hernandez pitching again. And a bunt down the third base line by Dunston. Williams makes the throw, not in time. Dunston bunts his way on. And now the Mets have first and third and nobody out. Sean Dunston with a perfect bunt down the third base line. Matt Williams came in desperately, grabbed the ball with his bare hand, threw all in the same motion, but not in time.
Well, Sean Dunston hasn't played a postseason game in 10 years since he was with the '89 Cubs, and he is playing pedal to the metal here tonight. He's played a great game in center field already, and that was a perfect bunt right along the edge of the grass.
That's what you love about watching Sean Dunston. Nobody plays any harder. It reminds me of a talented guy the Mets had for a short while, the name of Juan Samuel. He may not have been the best player around, but he sure played hard. Now here's Ray Ordonez. Can he handle the big unit, Randy Johnson? And the pitch on the way is low inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Ray in these situations is usually pretty good at getting the ball in the air. However, you're going to have to hit it fairly deep to get Ventura home the way Robin's running right now.
In the Yankee victory over Texas, 8 great innings by El Duque Orlando Hernandez. Jeff Nelson pitched the 9th. Aaron Seeley, the losing pitcher. First and third and nobody out. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ray Ordonez. Shane Reynolds pitched very well as Houston upset Atlanta, beating Greg Maddux. Darrell Ward had a home run, and so did Ken Caminetti. Caminetti had a 3-run homer. So Reynolds was the winner, and Greg Maddux was the loser. During the regular season, Ray Ordonez had 60 runs batted in, a big improvement over a year ago. Last year, he had 42. And the pitch on the way. He bunts the ball, squeeze play, racing home. No, there'll be no throw to the plate. Throws to first base in time for the out. Coming home to score is Robin Ventura. So the Mets use the squeeze play, and they get a run in.
Well, it wasn't the suicide squeeze, it was the safety squeeze, but Ray bunted down on that ball, and it took a big high hop. And with Ventura running from third, it needed that kind of a hop because by the time it came down in Johnson's hands, he looked home, but Robin was already crossing the plate.
So give Ray Ordonez an RBI. Now the Mets have a 4-1 lead as they bat in the 4th inning. And Masato Yoshi is the hitter. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 1.
You know, when you think about trying to bunt against Randy Johnson, it's almost harder to bunt the ball than it is to hit the ball if he throws you that fastball. But Ordonez did a great job chopping that ball straight down and getting that run in.
So the Mets get back the run that the Diamondbacks picked up in the last half of the 3rd. Ground ball hit hard to third, a diving stop by Matt Williams. He gets up, throws, and he got him. That saved a run. Masato Yoshi really hit it hard. Wicked ground ball, and Williams, who can really play third base, made a dive to his left, and he got it.
Well, the Mets are certainly hitting a surprising number of balls hard against Randy Johnson. Yoshi, not known for his bat, he really hit that ball hard.
So we go to the top of the batting order and Ricky Henderson. Ricky was robbed of a hit on a fine play by Steve Finley in the first inning. He walked and he stole second. He later scored in the third. He was driven in by John Olerud, who belted a long 2-run homer. Now the pitch on the way to Ricky Henderson. That's out of the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Mets have 4 runs, 6 hits. The Diamondbacks, 1 run on 3 hits. John Dustin, who has wonderful running speed, leading from second. Way inside, Ricky jumping back. 2 balls and no strikes. Mets have already homered twice in this game off the big unit. First it was Edgardo Alfonzo, then it was John Olerud. And that's a real shocker. Olerud, a left-hand hitter, hitting one off Randy Johnson. Pitch to Ricky Henderson, swung on and missed.
Well, the Mets offense was missing in action for 2 weeks. They found it last night, and boy, is it carried over to tonight against maybe the most dominating pitcher in baseball.
Imagine going up there trying to hit against that velocity. Armando Benitez throws that hard, but he's only working an inning at a time. And a high fly ball, pretty well hit to right field. Moving back, Tony Womack on the warning track, and he makes the catch. Womack had to go to the warning track to get that. So the inning is over. The Mets score 1 run. There were 2 hits and 1 man left on. In the middle of the 4th inning in Phoenix, it's the Mets 4 and the Diamondbacks 1 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Tomorrow night in Game 2 of this playoff series, Kenny Rogers will pitch for New York against Todd Stottlemyre. Stottlemyre 6-3 on the year, missed about 3 months. He was having all kinds of problems with his rotator cuff, but now they say he's healthy and throwing the ball well.
Todd has done something remarkable. He's got a 70% tear of that rotator cuff. No pitcher has ever come back from that without surgery, but Stottlemyre has.
Matt Williams will be hitting against Masato Yoshi, the home half of the 4th inning in the Bank One ballpark. Big, beautiful facility here in Phoenix, Arizona. Now the windup by Yoshi, and a strike call to the outside corner. As mentioned before, in his last 8 starts, Yoshi has won 5 and lost only 1 with a 1.61 earned run average. Ground ball hit hard, but right at Ray Ordonez. Ordonez makes the throw, 1 man down. Ray Ordonez has gone 100 games without making an error in the field. The Mets have set a new major league standard for fielding excellence this year. As a team, the Mets have made only 68 errors all year long. Previous record was held by Baltimore, about 87 or 88. Now 1 out and nobody on. Uriel Durazo, the rookie first baseman. Powerfully built left-hand hitter. Pitch on the way by Masato. Strike called over the inside corner. Durazo skied to center his first time at bat. Mets leading 4-1. We're in the last half of the 4th inning. And the pitch. A little bit inside that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. They started Durazo at Double-A this year. He hit over 400. They moved him to Triple-A. He hit over 400 again. So they brought him in. And he's hitting well over 300. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not.
He had enough minor league at-bats to qualify and became the first minor leaguer to hit over 400 for a full season in 38 years.
That's a long span of time.
That shows you how good he is.
They really caught lightning in a bottle with him. He should be around a long time. 2-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Good pitch by Masato Yoshi. 1 out and nobody on in the home 4th inning. Tomorrow night will be Game 2 right here at the Bank One ballpark in Phoenix. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Just missed, ball 3, full count. Durazo hitting at 329. And he has power. Here's the 3-2 pitch coming up now from Masato Yoshi. And that is hit in the air down deep to left center field, way back, going to the wall, Ricky Henderson, and this one is gone. It's a home run for Durazo. The rookie first baseman hits it into the stands in left center field. So it's a 4-2 ball game. Oh boy, we mentioned his power. He's got lots of it. For Durazo, that is his 12th home run of the year.
Well, we saw Tony Womack, a left-hand hitter, hit the ball a long way to left for a triple. This time, Durazo, a left-hand batter, takes it over the 376 sign for a home run. So they're taking that outside pitch against Yoshi, and those left-hand hitters are driving the ball the other way.
You get a feeling that this is anybody's ball game. Mets have a 2-run lead right now. Durazo, the rookie first baseman, hit one out. Now the pitch is to Steve Finley. Finley, the center fielder, had a big year hitting 34 home runs. And he takes strike one call.
Both these teams are really swinging the bat well tonight. We've seen a lot of hard-hit balls in this game on both sides.
Mets 4 runs on 6 hits. The Diamondbacks 2 runs on 4 hits. And a high fly hit deep to center field. Going back, Sean Dunston to the center field wall. And he makes the grab. Dunston right in front of the center field fence. Pulls it in for the out.
You know, we mentioned early how deep Sean Dunston plays in center field.
It's a good thing.
Tonight, I'll tell you what, he has caught 3 or 4 balls now, all of them warning track or beyond.
Masato Yoshi doing a good job of holding him down so far, but I'll tell you, as you mentioned earlier, he has given us some awfully hard hit line drives. This Mets game is brought to you by Chase Manhattan Bank, the leading bank for business. Chase, the right relationship is everything. Hanley Frias, the shortstop, is the hitter. Takes strike one call. Yoshi looking in on his target. And the pitch on the way. A slider inside and low. We're in the last of the 4th. A very entertaining ball game. Pressure, you bet. It's the first game in the playoffs. Last time the Mets were in the playoffs, it was 1988, and they were playing the Dodgers. High fly ball, pretty deep to right field. Going back, Agbayani, now he's under it. Waiting, makes the catch. And that retires the side. Little Hanley Frias hit one deep to right field that time. 1 run on 1 hit. The home run by Aurelio Durazo. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left on. So at the end of 4 now in Phoenix, the Mets 4 and the Diamondbacks 2 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Well, here in the Bank One ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona, entertaining game moving along. Let's go to the 5th inning with Gary Cohen.
Okay, thanks, Bob. 4-2 New York. Glad you could all stay up with us. It's going to be a long night.
It's only 12:30 in New York.
Yeah, it'll be 2 or 3 in the morning by the time we get done with this game.
You're probably right.
And same again tomorrow. Here's Edgardo Alfonzo, who got the Mets started in the 1st inning with a home run, and he fouls the first pitch back 0-1. The Mets have hit a remarkable number of balls hard against Randy Johnson. Randy was throwing the ball harder earlier in the game, but his fastball, the last couple he's thrown, 93, 94 miles an hour. That's not his top end. The 0-1 pitch, fastball off the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alfonzo's home run just made it into the seats deep in left center field. It's 407 to dead center. In dead center, there's a 25-foot wall that you have to hit it over to hit a home run. The 1-1 pitch hit hard down to third, caught by Matt Williams. Shoot top line drive caught by Williams to retire Alfonzo 1 away. The deepest part of the ballpark is in deep left center and deep right center. It's 413 feet. There the wall is only 8 feet high, and that's where Alfonzo's home run went into the front of the stands, carrying back on the field. Mets have hit 2 home runs tonight, Alfonzo in the first, and John Olerud hit a 2-run bomb in the third. Olerud now standing in. The home run by Olerud, the first by a left-hander against Randy Johnson in any game in more than 2 years. The last left-hander to hit a home run against Randy Johnson was Jim Edmonds back in '97. And a call strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Olerud not only has the home run tonight, he also had a bullet single to center field in the first. So against a pitcher who's not supposed to give up hits to left-handers, Olerud already has a couple. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Johnson. Check swing taken inside. By the way, it is the U.S. Airways home run flyaway inning. Today's contestant is John Jordan from Paramus, New Jersey. If a Met hits a home run this inning, John will receive 2 tickets to anywhere U.S. Airways flies in the continental U.S. 1-1 pitch, hit off the end of the bat foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike Piazza stands on deck. The Mets 4 runs and 6 hits. The Diamondbacks 2 runs and 4 hits. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Game 1 of the best of 5 National League Division Series. Game 2 tomorrow night, 11:05 here in Phoenix. The 1-2 pitch misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game 3 of this series will be at Shea Stadium on Friday night. That is an 8:05 start. And then Game 4 at Shea on Saturday, a 1:05 start. 2-2 to Olerud. Fastball in there for a call, strike 3. Olerud goes down looking. And there is strikeout number 7 for Randy Johnson. 2 out and nobody on in the 5th. We'll pause for station identification on the WFAN Mets Radio Network.
Yankees blank Texas 8-0. Astros beat the Braves 6-1. Rangers lose their home opener to Ottawa 2-1. Listen to Mike and the Mad Dog this afternoon 1-6 on WFAN New York.
Gary Cohen, Bob Murphy with you from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. We're in the top of the 5th inning. The Mets 4, the Diamondbacks 2 in Game 1. 2 out and nobody on. Here's Mike Piazza, who's hit the ball hard twice tonight. And the pitch to Mike off the outside corner, 1-0. Piazza grounded a single to center in the 1st, and then after Olerud's home run in the 3rd, he sent Steve Finley back to the center field fence, and Finley made a nice catch right up against the 407 mark. The pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball by Johnson, and Piazza had a big cut. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike twice went to the postseason with the Dodgers in 95 and 96, but the Dodgers never won a game. The 1-1 to Mike. Fastball, call, strike 1 and 2. They got swept 3 in a row by Cincinnati in 95. They got swept 3 in a row by the Braves in 96. So Piazza hoping for better times this time around wearing a Mets uniform. Crowd comes alive here at the Bob. Johnson peering in for his sign from behind his glove. Just looks right over the top of the webbing to get his sign. Standing 6'10". And now he steps back, and Piazza steps out. The outfield straight away and deep against Mike. Now the left-hander winds, 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Great slider by Randy Johnson, and he strikes out Piazza to end the inning. That's 8 strikeouts for Randy. The Mets go down 1-2-3. We've come halfway in Game 1, middle of the 5th in Phoenix. The Mets 4, the Diamondbacks 2 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Home 5th inning, Kelly Stinnett, the number 8 hitter, will lead off against Masato Yoshi. Yoshi gave up a triple to Tony Womack, who scored on a sacrifice fly in the 3rd, and gave up a home run to Rubiel Durazo in the 4th. Mets led 3-1, now 4-2. Stinnett popped to short his first time up. Randy Johnson on deck, and then Tony Womack here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's always important to win the first game of a series, but when you're playing best of 5, it is that much more important, particularly when you've got a guy on the other side like Randy Johnson. Because you know if you don't win Game 1, you're probably going to have to go through him again in Game 5 to win the series. The pitch to Kelly Stinnett, popped it up, first base side. Down the line goes Olerud into foul ground, cutting across Alfonzo, and Olerud makes the catch going away. Nice play by Olerud, trailing away from home plate in foul territory down the right field line. So 1 pitch and Stinnett is retired, and it brings up Randy Johnson. Randy had 97 at-bats this year during the regular season. That'll tell you just how long he sticks around in games. He had 12 complete games this year to lead the National League. It is rare that a pitcher these days gets anywhere close to 100 at-bats. But Randy, playing for a good hitting team, had 97. Takes a call, strike, 0-1. He's a left-hand pitcher, but a right-hand batter. He exposes his left arm to the pitcher, but he does wear a pad on his left elbow just in case. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and a good splitter by Yoshi, 0-2. Yoshi has not struck out a batter tonight. He also has not walked a batter. He's given up 2 runs and 4 hits, and 3 of the 4 hits have been for extra bases. He's also had some very hard outs. The 0-2 to Johnson, swing and a foul ball off the shin guard of Piazza. Just barely got a piece of that. And a 2-strike count on Randy Johnson. If you drink Rheingold Extra Dry Lager beer, then you know how good it tastes. Rheingold is brewed exactly the same way it was when Rheingold was #1 in New York. It costs more to make Rheingold, but it's worth it. Tony Womack standing on deck. Yoshi out of the windup. The 0-2 to Johnson on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. There's the first strikeout of the night for Masato Yoshi. Yoshi's averaged about 5.5 strikeouts per 9 innings this year. So 2 out and nobody on, and Yoshi with a chance for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night, but he has to work through Tony Womack. Womack launched a triple over the head of Ricky Henderson in left field in the 3rd inning. Then scored on the very next pitch on a sacrifice fly by Jay Bell. Womack finished the season with a 14-game hitting streak. A lot of these Diamondbacks came to the end of the season very hot with the bats. Ventura in close at 3rd. Yoshi delivers, and it's in for a call, strike, 0-1. As we mentioned earlier, the Diamondbacks won 21 of their last 27 games, so they did not coast to the finish, even though they won their division by 14 games. Now Yoshi with the 0-1. Womack swings and misses on a high, hard one. And Yoshi working ahead of the hitters here in the 5th inning, has a 2-strike count.
Early in the year, the Giants seem to be in control. Nice to see Dusty Baker here at the game tonight, the manager of the Giants.
Dusty is working in our medium. The 0-2 to Womack. Swing and a miss. He got him. Yoshi strikes out Womack on 3 pitches. So Yoshi, who didn't have a strikeout all night, picks up back-to-back strikeouts to end the 5th, and he has his first 1-2-3 inning. 5 in the books now in Arizona. The Mets 4, the Diamondbacks 2 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Glad you could spend your late night with us. We're in Phoenix at Bank One Ballpark. We're going to the 6th inning in Game 1 with the Mets leading the Diamondbacks 4-2. They'll be gearing it up about the same time tomorrow night, 10:30 for Mets Extra. First pitch at 11:09. 11:09. You want to get that exactly right.
Well, after all, it's a network telecast.
Well, that's exactly right. And the networks always have their timing down. Let's go to the 6th inning with Bob Murphy.
Okay, Gary. Vinny Agbayani leads off the top of the 6th inning for New York. And he lays off on the first pitch thrown by the big unit. It's ball 1. Mets lead 4-2. We're now in the 6th inning. Fastball low, 2 balls and no strikes. The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Allstate Insurance. 2 games to tell you about. Line drive off the pitcher's glove. Backhand play by Jay Bell. Thrown to first in time for the out. Vinny hit a sizzling line drive right back at Randy Johnson. Randy, I think, got his glove on it. Deflected it over near second base where Jay Bell made the backhand play and threw on to first for the out.
Randy Johnson looked like a big redwood falling to the ground. His leaves were waving in the air, and somehow that glove made contact with the ball as Randy was falling to the hill.
And it was hit pretty hard by Vinny Agbayani.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Here's Robin Ventura. He hit a wicked line drive double down the right field line in the 4th inning. Pitched by the left-hander is a strike call to the outside corner. Randy Johnson has 8 strikeouts so far. He gave up 1 walk, and that cost him a run. It was to Ricky Henderson. Swing and a miss at a high heater. So a 2-strike count on Robin Ventura. El Duque, 8 scoreless innings. The Yankees beat the Rangers 8-0. A 2-hitter for Orlando Hernandez. A 3-run homer by Bernie Williams. And a slider low outside now to Robin Ventura. So the Yankees have taken the first game of their series. And the Houston Astros in Atlanta upset Greg Maddux and the Atlanta Braves. Houston winning 6-1. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball, a slider. That's 9 strikeouts now for the big unit. 23 times this year he has had 10 or more. 2 outs, the base is clear. Here comes Sean Dunston. Shane Reynolds, the winning pitcher in the Houston game. Greg Maddux was the loser. Waiting now for Sean Dunston to step in. Sean bunted beautifully for a base hit his last time up. Bunted down the third base line. It was just perfect. Matt Williams made a play on it, but didn't have a chance. Now Johnson cranking up. And a fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes.
The series that starts tomorrow night is a fascinating one, Boston and Cleveland. You've got the highest scoring team in the last 50 years against the best pitcher in baseball.
Pedro Martinez. Swinging a line drive in the air to right field. Coming in quickly, snagging the ball is Tony Womack. So the Mets go out very quickly in their half of the sixth inning. Sean Dunston hitting a line drive to Womack in right field. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. Middle of the sixth inning now in Phoenix. Mets 4 and the Diamondbacks 2 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. New York with a 2-run lead. Now the Diamondbacks come on to hit in the last half of the sixth inning. They'll have 2, 3, and 4 in their batting order. That's pretty potent. Jay Bell, who led the club in home runs with 38, will be leading off against Masato Yoshi. Bell has flied to deep center, and he knocked her run in with a sacrifice fly. So Jay Bell is 0 for 1 with an RBI. Diamondbacks beat them at 7 out of 9 games in the regular season. Masato Yoshi won one of the 2 games the Mets were able to get. Pitch to Jay Bell, swinging a foul ball, drove it into the dirt near home plate. Luis Gonzalez, the left fielder, who hit .336 for the year, is now waiting on deck. Paid crowd tonight in the Bank One ballpark is 49,584. It's full. Held on the swing, it broke low. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Jay Bell. Bell had a career season. 38 home runs, well over 100 RBIs. Good pitch on the outside corner by Masato Yoshi. We're going to get some warm-up action in the New York Mets bullpen.
Turk Wendell, Dennis Cook, both staying ready.
Here's the 1-2 delivery, and it's a line drive into short right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Benny Agbayani grabs it on the first hop. Mets have only a 2-run lead. That can go in a hurry. Mets Radio would like to recognize Mario Matera of Local 200 as the United Association member of the game. The United Association making life livable for all Americans. Boy, here's the tough hitter, Luis Gonzalez. Batted .336 for the year. Gonzalez tonight has 1 for 2, but both times has hit the ball very hard. Good play by Sean Dunston to catch a line drive his last time up. Now the pitch on the way taken high. 1 ball and no strikes. Last of the sixth inning here in Phoenix, Arizona. The cleanup batter, Matt Williams, is the on-deck hitter. Let's have the infield hoping for a chance to make a double play. Ordonez shaded towards second base. And the pitch. High fly ball hit deep to right field. It's going to tie this game up. It's going gone, a home run. The Diamondbacks tie the game. Gonzalez, his 27th home run of the year. Oh, he just crushed that. Now the game is tied at 4.
Well, when Masato Yoshi has had trouble this year, the long ball has usually been right in the middle of it. He gave up 25 home runs during the regular season, and now 2 more tonight.
Number 27 for Luis Gonzalez, and the crowd is really roaring here at the Bank One ballpark. Matt Williams is the hitter. Mets have seen their lead get away against Randy Johnson. They had homered twice off Randy Johnson. They really had worked hard to get that lead. Now it's gone. Matt Williams, the hitter, swing and a miss at a high hardwood.
Bob, in the Mets bullpen, Billy Taylor is warming up. Now, as far as we know, Billy Taylor is not on the postseason roster.
I certainly did not think so. I was told that he was not.
We have the postseason roster in front of us, 11 pitchers. Taylor is not one of them. I don't know what he's doing warming up.
You think they might have changed him?
I don't know.
Now the pitch to Matt Williams, foul ball. That'll be back upstairs and out of play.
Those rosters were supposed to be in at 9 o'clock this morning, and they are not supposed to be changed, and now Taylor is sitting down, so he might have just been warming up for his own benefit.
Yeah, possibly.
But Dennis Cook is throwing in earnest. This might be the last batter for Yoshi. You've got two left-hand hitters coming up behind Williams.
Rubio Durazo, the first baseman, a left-hand hitter, will be up next. Pitch thrown to Matt Williams is too high. He lays off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It took only 2 batters to tie it up here in the 6th inning. Jay Bell singled to right. And Luis Gonzalez hit a long home run to right field. So it's 4-4. We're in the 6th inning. Strike call to the outside corner. Matt Williams is caught looking. 3rd strikeout for Masato Yoshi. Now we will see in a moment. Yep, here comes Dave Wallace, the pitching coach. He makes the changes. Dennis Cook is ready in the Mets bullpen. And Dave Wallace wants a word with the plate umpire. We'll get a double switch. Melvin Mora is coming out of the dugout. Dennis Cook will make his 72nd appearance of the season. Dennis with a record of 10 wins and 5 losses and a .386 earned run average. Rubio Durazo, the rookie first baseman from Mexico, a left-hand hitter. His last time at bat hit the ball into the seats in left center field. His 12th home run. We have a new ball game now. It's tied up 4-4. Luis Gonzalez, who had a terrific season for the Diamondbacks, hitting a 2-run homer to right field off Masato Yoshi.
They estimated the distance on the Gonzalez home run at 452 feet. It was a real bomb.
So Yoshi leaves after 5 1/3 innings. He allowed 4 runs and 6 base hits. Rubio Durazo stepping in. Yoshi did not walk a batter, and he struck out 3. Now Dennis Cook ready to work. And the first offering is a little bit inside, about knee high. 1 ball and no strikes. Durazo hit over 400 in the minor leagues, and he's kept it over 300 in the major leagues. Came into the game hitting at .329. Left-hander against left-hander. And that is inside. Cook falls behind him. 2 balls and no strikes. Of late, Dennis has had some trouble with his control.
Well, he's really stumbled coming down the stretch of the season, but he's been a great postseason pitcher in his career. In '97 with the Marlins, he was just about unhittable. 7 games, 9 innings, 1 hit.
Next pitch on the way, swung on and fouled off. That one's bounced over toward the New York Mets dugout. So the count goes to 2 balls and a strike on Durazo.
That's one of the reasons the Mets got Dennis Cook in the first place, because he was so good in the big games for Florida in '97.
Well, you won't find anybody more competitive than Dennis Cook. He gets to that mound, he is all business, and he really goes after it. The on-deck hitter now is the center fielder, Steve Finley. 4-4, we're playing in the home 6th inning. Fastball in close to him. Ball 3, 3-1. His control has just been a little off of late.
3 walks in his last 2/3 of an inning.
That's a little off. Now Durazo getting set in the batter's box. The count has gone to 3-1. Here's the pitch by Dennis. Foul ball, popped in the air, I should say. Off the mound quickly comes Cook, and he makes the catch. He did a good job. He jammed him, hit him right off the hands, and popped him up.
Well, he got a big break there. The rookie swinging at a pitch out of the strike zone on 3-1, and Cook gets himself a nice break.
Now there are 2 men away. Steve Finley has singled to right and flied to deep center field. Finley, the veteran center fielder, with 34 home runs this year at 103 runs batted in. Mets led at one time 4-1, but the Diamondbacks have come back. They got 1 run in the 4th inning and 2 here in the 6th inning. So the game is tied 4-4. Swinging and a miss by the batter, Steve Finley. Full house here at the Bank One ballpark. Better than 49,000 fans are on hand. 49,584. Finley backed away from the plate. That's inside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dennis Cook will get that fastball up there to about 92 miles per hour. Left-hander against left-hander. Low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. So he threw the slider. It was out of the strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hanley Frias, the shortstop, is now the on-deck batter. 2-1. And the pitch to Finley. Slow ground ball down the first base line. Want to stay fair. It is a foul ball, I think. Foul ball. Cook grabbed it in foul territory. Good thing he did, because he could not have thrown out Steve Finley. He took a big swing, hit a little slow squib right down the first baseline. Cook got off the mound, taking care of business. Got over there, and the minute he saw us across the line, he reached out and grabbed it.
Yeah, that ball was hugging the line for the longest time, and Cook was running along with it. And as soon as that ball went foul, he swiped it because he was suspecting that the ball might go fair again.
Yeah, there's no way in the world if it was fair that he could throw him out. Each team has 4 runs and 6 base hits. Opening game of the playoffs for the New York Mets, back for the first time since 1988 when they lost 7-game series to the Dodgers. Now Cook is ready. The 2-2 pitch. He bounced that with a breaking ball out in front of the dirt, of the plate in the dirt.
Last time the Mets played a best-of-5 series was the National League Championship Series of 1973.
They played the Cincinnati Reds and they won the series.
These best-of-5 series create so much tension right from the start.
Oh, and how the 73 Cincinnati team was the Big Red Machine. They had Joe Morgan and Johnny Bench and Tony Perez and George Foster. That was quite an outfit. And the Mets won the series. 3-2 pitch. A little bit low and Cook walking. So Steve Finley works out a walk against Dennis Cook. And the hitter coming up will be Hanley Frias.
You know, the difference between Dennis Cook lately and Dennis Cook earlier in the season, Cook always works 3-2 counts, but it seems as though lately when he gets to 3-2, he's unable to make that big pitch.
Yeah, he gets to 3-2 now and issues the walk. So now the D-backs have a runner on first base with 2 men away. Their shortstop, Hanley Frias, batting at .273. Switch hitter batting right-handed. Throw to first is not in time. Time was called by the plate umpire, Brian Gorman. Nothing further going in the Mets bullpen, at least not at the moment. Jay Bell opened the last of the 6th inning with a single to right, and then Luis Gonzalez hit a cross-country 2-run homer. Fastball, strike call to the outside corner. Dennis Cook has seen a lot of action this year. Dennis now appearing for the 72nd time here this evening.
Mets had 2 players break the club record for appearances this year. Kirk Wendell was in 80 games and Armando Benitez in 77.
Record had been set by a skinny right-hander by the name of Jeff Ennis. Now the pitch on the way, and that's out off the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. You always wondered where Jeff Ennis got his stamina. He was about as thin as anybody you'll know. Sidearm right-hander, and he worked very effectively. Did a good job for the New York Mets. Frias waiting now on a 1-1 pitch from Dennis Cook, but instead it's a throw over to first base.
Jeff Ennis always said when his career was over, he wanted to become a G-man. He wanted to join the FBI.
That's right, he did.
I don't think he ever did that, though.
The general manager of the Mets in those days was Frank Cashin. He did a wonderful impersonation of Frank Cashin. Dennis Cook trying to get the 3rd out here in the last of the 6th inning. And again, he throws over to first. I think Dennis has been a little frustrated of late. When he left the last game he was in, he went into the dugout and he was really upset. He takes great pride in his ability to get hitters out. So if he walks somebody, it doesn't please him. 1-1 on Hanley Frias, the shortstop, with a runner on first base and 2 men down. And the pitch on the way is way out of the outside, off the outside corner. So now it's 2 balls and a strike on the shortstop Frias. Steve Finley is on first base with 2 men away. The on-deck hitter now is the catcher, Kelly Stinnett. Kelly is the catcher and number 8 hitter. Next delivery by Dennis Cook, a swing and a miss and a fastball. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, it's not coming easy for Dennis Cook right here. Able to put the pitch where he wants to right now. Big crowd here in the ballpark starting to roar. Here's the pitch now by Dennis. Strike 3 called. He got him. So Dennis made the pitch he wanted to make, and the inning is finally over. But the Diamondbacks tie it up. 2 runs, 2 hits, and a man left on. After 6 innings in Phoenix, the Mets 4 and the Diamondbacks 4 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Bob Murphy with Gary Cohen. It's now the 7th inning. The number 8 hitter, Ray Ordonez, up against the big unit. Ordonez bunted successfully, knocking in a run his last time at bat. Safety squeeze, and they pulled it off. Bouncing ball slowly hit, moving in is Jay Bell. He scoops it up, throws on to first, 1 down. 1 pitch and 1 retired.
And not surprisingly, Randy Johnson getting tougher and tougher as this game is going along.
He'll be awfully hard to handle now, I'm afraid.
You get 4 runs off Randy Johnson, it's almost like a gift, and you figure you should probably win that game. Now it's going to be a very difficult game to win.
Melvin Mora came in on a double switch. He's now batting 9th and playing center field. Looks at a fastball, strike 1 call. So a 1-strike count on Melvin Mora. Melvin's done very little hitting since coming up from Norfolk. Foul ball down the right field line. That'll sail over into the crowd.
Well, he certainly had a big hit on Sunday.
Yes, he did.
Scored maybe the most important run of the season for the Mets.
It was only his 6th base hit, but it certainly was a big one. He got quite a greeting when he came in with that winning run.
It was almost as though the Mets had already clinched. Then they realized, well, wait a second. We may have to play another game.
He was really swamped by his teammates. Randy Johnson now with a 2-strike advantage pitching to Melvin Mora. His next strikeout will be his 10th. He'll be in double figures once again. Ground ball hit down to third. That's a fair ball fielded by Matt Williams. Long throw got him at first base. So Melvin Mora has bounced out third to first. 2 outs and nobody on. We go to the top of the order for Ricky Henderson. Ricky in the game tonight is 0 for 2. A walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. And I don't see Ricky. Here he comes. Ricky finished the year out batting .315 with 37 stolen bases. He has a stolen base in this game tonight. Mets have hit 2 home runs. You don't expect that against Randy Johnson, especially one by a left-hand hitter, John Olerud. It had been 2 years since a left-handed batter hit a home run against Randy Johnson. Pitch on the way to Ricky, taken high. 1 ball and no strikes. Randy Johnson very anxious to win a postseason game. He's lost his last 5 postseason starts. Low inside, ignored by Ricky Henderson. 2 balls and no strikes.
One thing you know about Randy, if you hit for him, he will be around long enough to win because he stays in games longer than anybody else in the league.
He has 12 complete games already. And it's off the outside corner. He falls behind Ricky Henderson. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, if Ricky draws a walk, we'll have a game of Randy Johnson throwing over to first base for a while, because he certainly will try to keep a short halter on him. Low ball 4. Here we go. Ricky Henderson walks for the 2nd time tonight. He's drawn 2 walks. Those are the only walks that Randy has given up. You always wonder why, what the chemistry is, what makes pitchers walk Ricky Henderson like that.
It's amazing. He uses the crouch, which helps to some extent, but not as pronounced a crouch as he used to, but somehow he just is able to induce walks time after time after time.
Indeed he does. So now here's Edgardo Alfonzo. He's already hit a home run. Did that in the 1st inning of the game tonight. Fonzie hit a home run in the 1st inning last night to help the Mets beat the Cincinnati Reds. And after the game was over, the celebration was over, the Mets then had to go to the airport and fly to Houston. That was a fly to Phoenix, beg your pardon. That was a 4-hour flight.
I'm not sure where we are either, Bob.
I know you get kind of lost.
It's been quite a whirlwind the last 48 hours.
It's just been the ballpark, the airplane, and the hotel. And the pitch on the way now to Edgardo, outside high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, the one thing the Mets know for sure, they'll be home Thursday morning and playing a game at Shea on Friday night.
They'll get home probably about 9 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. They'll be flying all night after they finish the game here tomorrow night. Fonzie waiting on the tall left-hander Randy Johnson. The big unit deals. There goes Ricky. The pitch is inside the throw to second, not in time. And Ricky Henderson has his second stolen base of the game. He stole back in the 3rd inning, and he has just stolen again.
Oh, we talked early in the game about Randy Johnson. When you're 6'10", it's awfully hard to get the ball to the plate without a big motion. And Ricky has become adept at reading that motion, and again, he stole the base easily.
I didn't realize, but the plate umpire, Brian Gorman, called that last pitch a strike. So now it's 2-1, but the Mets have a runner in scoring position. They need one more timely hit. The big unit is ready. The pitch on the way is too high. The count goes 3 balls and a strike. John Olerud is the on-deck hitter. 3-1 the count on Edgardo Alfonzo. Fonzie with 108 RBIs in the regular season. Now the pitch on the way, and a drive hit toward the gap in left center field. On the run, Steve Finley. He'll get there, and he makes the catch. Fonzie hit it hard once again, deep to left center field. It was run down by Steve Finley. So the Mets do not score. After 6.5 innings, the score, the Mets 4 and the Diamondbacks 4. The 7th inning stretch is brought to you by the New York Racing Association at Belmont Park. The most exciting ride in sports. What a ride. Yesterday it was Dennis Cook's birthday, his 37th birthday. The birthday present tonight is facing the Diamondbacks. And the batter is Kelly Stinnett, the catcher and number 8 hitter. Randy Johnson will be up next. Then you go to the top of the batting order for Tony Womack. Each team has 4 runs and 6 base hits.
Not even a hint of warm-up action in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Randy Johnson's thrown 113 pitches. That's a walk in the park for him.
Oh, yeah, he'll throw 145, 150 if necessary. And be ready to come back on 4 days rest for his next start. Nothing going in the Mets bullpen either right now. Kelly Stinnett is 0 for 2. Stocky right-hand batter. And the pitch on the way is out of the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes. It was hard work for Dennis Cook. He got the job done when he came into the last inning to replace Masato Yoshi. But he really had to work hard. Finally struck out Hanley Frias to get the 3rd out. High fly ball hit to right center, not very deep. Easy play for Benny Agbayani. He's standing under it. Puts it away for the out. So 1 up and 1 set aside. Mets Radio would like to recognize Jeff Bronte of Local 373 as the United Association member of the game. The United Association making life livable for all Americans. Here's Randy Johnson. He has 12 hits this year. 0 for 2 here this evening. Left-hand pitcher, but a right-hand hitter. Taken low inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Randy has won 17 and lost 9. He lost 4 straight this year. All 4 games the Diamondbacks were shut out, including a no-hitter. That's when you're running into hard luck. Top winner in the league is Mike Hampton of the Houston Astros at 122. Next pitch on the way by Dennis, and it's low to Randy Johnson. So he falls behind the opposing pitcher. 2 balls and no strikes. Now we'll get some stirring around and some more warm-up action in the Mets bullpen. Probably Turk Wendell. Turk is now throwing. He gets ready in a hurry. Right down the middle for a call. Strike 2-1. The runs have been driven in tonight by Jay Bell, Rubio Durazo, and Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez, with one swing of the bat, evened the game. And a good fastball for a strike call to Randy Johnson. Now Dennis Cook with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dennis makes his home in Austin, Texas, the home of the University of Texas. Tony Womack, the leadoff batter, waiting on deck. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, fair ball, base hit. Going down the line and into the corner. Randy Johnson on his way to second. He'll go in easily with a 2-base hit. Now the Mets have a real problem. Randy Johnson, as we mentioned, is a right-handed hitter, although he's a left-handed pitcher. He swung and he hit a line drive between Olerud and the bag. It was really hit hard down the right field line, went all the way down to the foul pole, and Randy Johnson winds up on second base.
Well, all those swings in the Nike commercials during the off seasons must have paid off for Randy Johnson. He's become a decent hitter. He had 12 hits, including 4 doubles in the regular season, and that's a big 2-base hit here in the 7th inning.
Now Dennis Cook has a hitter he has to get out, and the hitter is the leadoff batter, Tony Womack. Womack got a run for the Diamondbacks in the 3rd inning when he tripled to the opposite field over the head of Ricky Henderson. Then he scored on a sacrifice fly by Jay Bell. Crowd really excited now. Sellout crowd here at the Bank One Ballpark. And the pitch on the way to Womack. Strike called over the inside corner. It's a hard-working situation right now for Dennis Cook. Turk Wendell is up in the bullpen, but you know Bobby wants him to get this left-hand hitter out. 4-4, last half of the 7th inning. Tony Womack hitting out of a crouch. Waiting on Dennis Cook. Now the pitch to him. And it's hit in the air to shallow left field. That'll be coming in Ricky Henderson. He'll get under it, and he makes the catch. And they're going to get a double play because Randy Johnson pulled a boo-boo. He took off going toward third, so it's a double play. Ricky Henderson catches the fly ball in short left field, and then they have an easy double play at second base. So the side is retired. Let's get a break on that. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. At the end of 7 innings, the score, the Diamondbacks 4, the Mets 4 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Gary Cohen, I have no idea whether Randy Johnson thought there were 2 men away or what happened on that.
Well, there are only 2 choices. Either he thought the ball was going to drop in, which he'd never had a chance to do, or he thought there were 2 out, which there weren't. So either way, Johnson made a big mistake. Mets going to break a 7-4 double play to end the 7th inning. And the Mets have the heart of the batting order coming up against the big unit in the 8th. And you wonder whether Randy will be bothered by that. John Olerud 2 for 3 tonight. He's had a terrific night. The pitch and a ground ball weakly to the right of the mound. Charging his bell. He's got it. Makes the sidearm flip in time. And Olerud retired on 1 pitch. So Olerud, who has singled and hit the first home run off Randy Johnson in more than 2 years by a left-hand batter, now has struck out and grounded out his last 2 trips. 1 out and nobody on in the 8th, and here comes Mike Piazza. Mike has singled to center, hit a fly ball to the center field fence that Steve Finley made a nice play on, and been struck out. Mets have not had a base hit since a bunt single by Sean Dunston in the 4th inning. 4-4 game. We're now in the 8th. 1 out and nobody on. The outfield straightaway against Piazza, and Johnson fires. Hit foul outside first, bounding past the Mets dugout. 0-1. We'll get you updated on the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by New York City Off-Track Betting. At OTB, we've got your number, 1-800-OTB-8118. Piazza broke his bat on that last swing. He'll get a new one. The Astros stunned the Braves today, 6-1. A home run by Darrell Ward in the 6th inning snapped a 1-1 tie. Shane Reynolds held it till the 7th. Trevor Miller and Doug Henry did strong work in relief, and then the Astros scored 4 runs in the 9th inning, 3 of them on a Ken Caminiti home run to break the game open. And the Astros beat the Braves in Game 1 at Turner Field 6-1. Game 2 tomorrow at 4 o'clock. It'll be Kevin Millwood trying to get even for the Braves against Jose Lima. Johnson winds the 0-1 to Piazza. Punched foul down the right field line. That'll go into the seats out of play. And a 2-strike count on Piazza. In the American League, the Yankees took the measure of the Texas Rangers again. Orlando Hernandez and Jeff Nelson combined on a 2-hitter. The Yankees drubbed the Rangers 8-0. Bernie Williams had a 3-run homer. Bernie went 3 for 5 and drove in 6 runs. Aaron Seeley took the loss. Last year, the Rangers scored 1 run in 3 games in the playoffs against the Yankees and hit 141 as a team. They got shut out tonight and had only 2 hits. 8-0 the final. The Yankees win it. Game 2 there will be on Thursday night. Andy Pettit against Rick Helling. The other series starts tomorrow night. Boston at Cleveland with Pedro Martinez against Bartolo Colon. Right here, we're 4-4 in the 8th in Game 1. 1 out and nobody on. The 0-2 to Piazza. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high, hard one. Strikeout number 10 for Randy Johnson. 23 times during the regular season, the big unit struck out double figures. That tied the Major League record set by Nolan Ryan back in 1973. And now Randy Johnson does it again in the postseason. 10 strikeouts, 2 out and nobody on in the 8th. It'll bring up Benny Agbayani. Benny has been rather overmatched here tonight, although he did hit the ball fairly solidly his last time up, hitting one off Johnson's glove that deflected to Jay Bell, who threw him out. Benny was fanned his first 2 times up, so he's 0 for 3. Batting number 5 in the order tonight. Johnson deals, calls strike, 0-1. There were a few times earlier this year when Benny hit as high as 5th in the order, but not over the last couple of months. Robin Ventura has been a fixture in that 5-hole, but against the left-hander tonight, Bobby Valentine tinkered a bit. The 0-1 pitch, fastball strike on the outside corner, and Randy ahead, 0-2. The Mets had a 3-0 lead. They had a 4-1 lead. But a Rubio Durazo homered in the 4th. Luis Gonzalez hit a 2-run bomb in the 6th. And we're tied 4-4 in the 8th. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, a slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Agbayani. Johnson has now thrown 120 pitches in the game and still going strong. The outfield playing deep and straight away against Benny. The crowd on its feet. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt again with a slider. And it's even on Agbayani, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Benny hit 14 home runs during the regular season. Hit 10 of them in his first 73 at-bats. Went 160 at-bats without a home run. And then hit 3 home runs in the last 3 weeks of the season. Benny has been kind of all or nothing as far as the power department is concerned. And you know you have to be thinking power right here. Randy Johnson has been vulnerable really only in one area this year, and that is the home run ball. He's given up 2 tonight. A first-inning home run to Edgardo Alfonzo, and then that shocking 2-run homer by Olerud in the 3rd inning. Jim Edmonds in September of '97 was the last left-hand hitter to hit a home run off Randy Johnson, until Olerud did it here tonight. 2-2 to Agbayani with Ventura standing on deck. Now the wind. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a slider in the dirt. Johnson strikes out Agbayani, his 11th strikeout of the night. And the Mets are down 1-2-3 in the 8th. Nothing across. Middle of the 8th in Phoenix. The Mets 4, the Diamondbacks 4 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of Sterling Doubleday Enterprises solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Sterling Doubleday Enterprises. We go to the last of the 8th inning here in Arizona, and the Mets make a double switch. Roger Cedeno comes in to play right field. Cedeno will bat 7th where the pitcher had been. And on to pitch for New York is Turk Wendell. Wendell will bat 5th with Benny Agbayani coming out of the game. 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order for the Diamondbacks. Jay Bell, Luis Gonzalez, and Matt Williams. Last of the 8th inning in a 4-4 game. Wendell delivers to Bell, and he misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Of these 3, Bell is the one who has given Wendell the most trouble. Bell is 4 for 9 in his career against Turk Wendell. Tonight, Bell 1 for 2 in a sacrifice fly. The 1-0 pitch and a high fly ball hit to right field. Drifting back Cedeno. He has room at the edge of the track. He makes the catch. Bell retired, 1 man down. There's 1 big out for Turk Wendell. It'll bring up Luis Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has really swung the bat well here tonight. In the first inning, he drove one to right center field. Sean Dunston almost made a diving catch, but it fell for a double. In the third inning, Gonzalez hit one way back on the warning track in center field, and Dunston made a terrific play to run that down. And then the last time up in the sixth inning, Gonzalez hit one where Dunston or nobody else could catch it. Way up in the stands in right field, 452 feet. A two-run homer that tied the game in the sixth. So Gonzalez has really hit the ball solidly all night long. Now, Wendell has done very well against Luis Gonzalez in the past. Gonzalez is hitless in 4 career at-bats against Turk Wendell. Turk set a Mets record this year by appearing in 80 regular season games. Pitched to a 3.05 ERA. Wendell really turned it on late in the season and is pitching very well coming into the postseason. Something retrieved on the warning track out in left field by Ricky Henderson before Gonzalez can step in. Matt Williams standing on deck. The infield around to the right, the outfield a couple of steps toward right as well. The pitch to Gonzalez in tight with a fastball from Wendell. 1 ball and no strikes. Masato Yoshi went the first 5 and a third innings, and Yoshi did not have his best stuff here tonight. He got hit pretty hard. Here's the 1-0 pitch and a high pop-up foul third base side. It might make it to the seats. Piazza gives a look, and it's in the crowd just next to the Diamondbacks dugout. Wendell was sprinting off the mound, and he got all the way to the on-deck circle as that ball was heading into the crowd. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yoshi went 5 and a third, allowed 4 runs and 6 hits. Dennis Cook an inning and 2/3 in relief. He gave up only 1 hit, and that was a double to Randy Johnson, but Randy with a base running mistake got doubled off second base on a fly ball to end the 7th. And now Wendell pitching in the 8th, trying to hold the Diamondbacks at bay and send it to the 9th, a tie game. But he's got to face the 3 and 4 hitters in the Diamondbacks batting order. 1-1 to Luis Gonzalez. Now the pitch on the way, and a slider misses inside. 2 balls and a strike to Gonzalez. Luis Gonzalez has had a great year, and he's really torn up the Mets. During the regular season, he hit .441 against Met pitching. Now Piazza flashes a sign. Wendell's 2-1 pitch, just off the outside corner. And now Wendell behind on Gonzalez, 3-1 with Matt Williams looming on deck. Not a comfortable spot for Turk to be in. The 3-1 to Gonzalez. Outside ball 4, and the lead run is on base with 1 out. And Matt Williams will stride to the plate. Williams has had a tough night so far. Matt has not hit the ball out of the infield. He popped up to first base with a runner in scoring position in the first. He grounded out to short in the 4th, and he took a call third strike in the 6th. John Franco is up now in the Mets bullpen. Behind Matt Williams, you've got 2 left-hand hitters. They're Rubiel Durazo and Steve Finley, so this might be the last man Turk faces. Gonzalez at first. Olerud holds him on. The infield pinch toward the middle, hoping it turned 2. The pitch to Williams, hit foul, back over the screen and out of play, 0-1. Wendell has done well against Williams. Matt Williams 1 for 7 against Turk Wendell with 4 strikeouts. And Turk needs to make a big pitch and get out the second leading RBI man in the National League. Williams drove in 142 runs during the regular season. 4-4, bottom of the 8th. The outfield as deep as they can play and a few steps toward left against the third base slugger, Matt Williams. Gonzalez leads off first. Wendell to the belt. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slider hit on the ground to short. Charging Ordonez. Flips the second one. Alfonzo to first. Double play. 6-4-3 double play. And Turk Wendell gets out of the 8th inning and keeps the game tied. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. 8 in the books now in Phoenix. The Mets 4, the Diamondbacks 4 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Gary Cohen, Bob Murphy with you from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. We go to the 9th inning. The Mets and Diamondbacks tied 4-4 in Game 1 of the best-of-5 National League Division Series. Robin Ventura leads off against Randy Johnson in the 9th. And he takes a slider low inside, 1-0. Johnson has allowed 4 runs and 6 hits, but the Mets' last hit came back in the 4th inning. Randy has walked 2 and struck out 11. The 1-0 to Ventura, and a high fly ball down the right field line, hooking away toward the corner. On the run, Womack into foul ground. He won't get to it. It lands just beyond his reach in front of the stands. A foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ventura. Robin is 1 for 3 on the night. He hit a well-placed double down the right field line and then scored the 4th Met run on a safety squeeze bunt by Ray Ordonez. At the time, that gave the Mets a 4-1 lead. But home runs by Rubiel Durazo and Luis Gonzalez tied the game. We're now in the 9th. Johnson winds. The 1-1 pitch and a slider low inside. 2 balls and a strike. Randy Johnson has thrown 125 pitches, and there is not a hint of warm-up action in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Roger Cedeno is hitting 7th in the order now. Cedeno's on deck. The 2-1 pitch hit hard toward the hole. Base hit going into right field for Robin Ventura. So Ventura leads off the 9th inning with a single to right, his 2nd hit of the game. And the Mets have their 1st hit since the 4th inning. And now Cedeno will come up. The Mets have faced Randy Johnson only once before, and that was on the 30th of May at Shea Stadium. Johnson beat the Mets on that occasion 10-1. The only run of the game for the Mets came on the unlikely home run by Roger Cedeno. Cedeno, who is not a very good right-handed batter, nonetheless has hit 3 of his 4 home runs right-handed this year, and he hit 1 off Randy Johnson. He's probably not going to be asked to do anything but bunt right now to try and get that lead run down to second base. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks bullpen springs into action for the first time. Cedeno stands in from the right side. He squares the bunt, lays off, and the pitch is low inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ray Ordonez is standing on deck. 2 right-handers begin to throw in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Bobby Chouinard and Matt Manti. Manti the closer. Williams gets set to charge from third base. Durazo holding Ventura at first. Robin not running well. The 1-0. He lays off and it's outside. Cedeno squaring to bunt, and Johnson missed again, and now it's 2-0 to Roger Cedeno. And Roger looks down to Cookie Rojas to see what he should do. Should he bunt or should he take a pitch here? 4-4, top of the 9th. Mets trying to build the lead run. Ventura led off the 9th inning with a single to right. The Mets left-hand hitters have 4 hits tonight. The 2-0 pitch bunted up into the air and grabbed by Randy Johnson for the out, and Ventura scrambles back to first. On 2-0, Roger Cedeno popped up the bunt, and that really hurts the New York Mets. That's the first out in the 9th inning. And now Ray Ordonez will bat. So Cedeno fails to get the bunt down, and instead of having a runner in scoring position, the Mets have the slow-footed Ventura on first and 1 man down, and Ray Ordonez coming up. Ray drove in a run with a safety squeeze bunt in the 4th inning. He chopped it right off the plate and got Ventura home from third. Ray is officially 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded to second. Right-hand batter standing in against the left-hander Johnson. Now the pitch. And it's below the knees with a slider. 1 ball and no strikes. Melvin Mora is batting 9th in the order. Mora is out on deck. Randy Johnson's gone all the way. He struck out 11. Gave up 4 runs in the first 4 innings, but held the Mets at bay since then as his teammates caught up for him. Williams playing even with the bag at third. The outfield a few strides toward right against Ordonez. And a toss to first, and Ventura practically standing on the bag is back easily. Game 1 of the best of 5 series, and it's coming right down to the nub. 9th inning, 4-4. Now Ordonez, having glanced down to Cookie Rojas, settles himself back in from the right side. Ventura is short lead at first. The 1-0 pitch, fastball on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch, knee high by Randy Johnson. And it gets even on Ordonez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Paid crowd tonight at the Bob, 49,584, and none of those patrons has moved an inch. Bell and Frias shortened up at second and short, hoping to turn a double play. Johnson from the first base side of the rubber deals. Hit foul into the crowd next to the first base dugout.
Melvin Mora had to hit the ground to avoid it.
And I think a fan might have gotten hit by that ball right next to the Mets dugout on the first base side. That ball really got into the stands in a hurry.
That could be a Mets fan of that location.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Ordonez. Boy, there was a scary moment at Yankee Stadium tonight when Don Zimmer got hit by a foul ball into the Yankee dugout. everybody appears to be okay. And Ordonez will step back in, and the crowd here at Bank One Ballpark begins to raise the vocal level. Ventura leads from first with one out. The 1-2 to Ordonez. Slider low inside, and it's even on Ray. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mets trying to do it with the lower part of the batting order here after Ventura led off with a base hit. Mets had a chance to try and move the runner along, but Cedeno popped up the bunt. And so Ordonez trying to get it done with 1 out. Each team with 7 base hits in the game. 4-4, top of the ninth. Now Johnson leans in to get his sign from Kelly Stinnett. Ordonez waits. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball toward the hole. Base hit going through into left field. Ventura goes to second and stops there. And now the Mets have the lead run in scoring position with 1 out. And Melvin Mora coming up. Ray Ordonez hung in there and grounded a single between Frias and Williams on the left side of the infield. So now 2 aboard with 1 out, and Mora will stand in for the second time. Melvin grounded out to Williams at third base in his only trip to the plate in the 7th after coming in on a double switch. Mora now playing center field. Ventura at second base. Not automatic that you would get him home on a base hit to the outfield the way Robin is running on his sore knee. Gonzalez in left field has a very weak arm. Steve Finley, pretty decent arm in center, and Tony Womack only average in right. The infield back at double play depth. Mora stands in. Johnson deals. Low inside. He almost hit him. Mora had to skip out of the way of that fastball. 1 ball and no strikes.
This would be a good spot for the Mets to get a wild pitch to work with.
Then it would take just a fly ball to get that lead run home. Randy Johnson now with 135 pitches under his belt, and how many more to go? Ventura on second. Ordonez at first and 1 away. Mora waving the bat back and forth, waiting on Johnson. The big unit set. The 1-0 pitch, low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And now Johnson consistently working behind the hitters here in the 9th inning. Now Randy takes a deep breath and settles his left foot against the rubber. Mora trying to stay calm as he sets himself in the right-hand batter's box. First and second and 1 out. 2-0 the count. Johnson delivers. And it's low ball 3. 3-0 to Melvin Mora. A walk would fill the bases and move that lead run to third base with 1 out, with Ricky Henderson waiting to hit next. So Johnson really fighting himself right now, and you know Melvin Mora is going to take at least 1 pitch here to try to induce that walk and get that lead run to third. Stinnett flashes a sign. Johnson's 3-0 pitch. Low ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Randy Johnson walks Melvin Mora on 4 pitches. And the Mets have the bases loaded in the 9th inning with 1 out. Ricky Henderson coming up. Buck Showalter's going to jog out to the mound. He wants to find out how much, if anything, Randy Johnson has left. They've got 2 right-handers, Chouinard and Manti, getting ready in the bullpen. Right-hand batting Ricky Henderson coming up. And Randy Johnson is coming out of the game. 4-4 in the 9th. Bases loaded, 1 out. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Geico Direct Auto Insurance. One 15-minute phone call could save you 15% or more. Call 1-800-245-AUTO. 27-year-old right-hander Bobby Chouinard takes over the pitching for Arizona. The Mets looking to take the lead in the top of the 9th inning. A 4-4 game. The bases loaded and 1 out. And Ricky Henderson is coming up. Bobby Chouinard split his season between Arizona and Tucson this year. He was in 32 games for the Diamondbacks, worked 40 innings, allowed only 31 hits, 12 walks, and 23 strikeouts, and his goal is clear here. He wants to get a ground ball so that the Diamondbacks can turn a double play and get through this inning. Randy Johnson threw 138 pitches over 8 in the 3rd innings. He allowed 8 hits and 4 runs so far. He walked 3 and struck out 11. And if the Mets can get a run home here in the 9th inning, they would have a chance to tag Randy Johnson with his 6th consecutive postseason loss, and that would be a major league record. But Ricky Henderson is the guy who has to get it done. Ricky tonight has walked twice, stolen 2 bases, and scored a run. Otherwise, he's 0 for 2, robbed of a base hit on a sliding catch by Finley in the 1st, and he had a long fly ball to right field in the 4th. Mets would take a long fly ball right here. Ventura at 3rd, Ordonez at 2nd, and Mora at 1st. The infield playing halfway at 2nd and short. They could come home with a grounder. The pitch to Henderson, and it misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. I was a little bit surprised that Buck Showalter didn't go with his best, Matt Manti, to try and protect this tie, but he brings in Chouinard instead. The Diamondbacks bullpen has been pitching extraordinarily well the second half of the year. The 1-0 to Henderson. Inside, ball 2. So Chouinard, with the bases loaded, falls behind Henderson 2-0. Ricky's already walked twice in this game. A walk here would force home the lead run. 4-4, top of the ninth. Base hits by Ventura and Ordonez and a walk to Mora have set the stage. The outfield straight away against Henderson. The infield ready to come home. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a ground ball hit towards shortstop. Diving stop by Williams. The throw coming home. And he's out at the plate. Great play. Great play by Matt Williams. And he gets the out at the plate. The ball was headed toward the shortstop hole. And Matt Williams made a great diving stop. And with the slow-footed Robin Ventura coming down the line, Williams was able to pop up and get it home to Kelly Stinnett. And they get the force at the plate for the second out. Wow.
The last thing in the world the Mets wanted to see happen. What a play by Matt Williams. He had to dive to get it. I still had time to get up and get it home in time.
Second tremendous play by Matt Williams in this game. Now the Mets need a 2-out hit from Edgardo Alfonzo. And Fonzie's been hitting the ball hard all night long. He had a home run back in the first. Bases loaded, 2 out. The pitch and a slider strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Alfonzo homered in the first inning, struck out in the third, lined out to third base in the fifth, and lined out to center field in the seventh. Ordonez carries the lead run. He's on third. Mora at second. Henderson at first. Good speed on the bases. Time is called just as Chouinard was getting set to go into his motion. Ricky Henderson on a 2-0 pitch and a ground ball toward the hole, and Matt Williams, who has won Gold Gloves in his career, made a game-saving play. A diving stop and an accurate throw home just in time to get a sliding Robin Ventura. Ordonez way down the line from third as Chouinard comes set. The pitch on the way, slider outside and low, and Alfonzo lays off as Stinnett goes down to the dirt to make sure that ball wouldn't get behind him. 1 ball and 1 strike. 27-year-old Bobby Chouinard pitched briefly in the big leagues with Oakland and Milwaukee before coming to the Arizona Diamondbacks on waivers the middle of last year. And he's pitched well for them. And he's in a big spot here. He's already gotten 1 big out. He needs another. Alfonzo trying to get the big hit for New York. Again, Ordonez leads well down the line. Chouinard off the stretch, the 1-1. Way up high. He missed badly with that. 2 balls and a strike to Alfonzo. It has all come down to this here in the top of the 9th inning. The Mets 4 and the Diamondbacks 4 in game 1. Now Ordonez again walks well down the line. Williams is leaving him alone. He's playing deep at third base. The 2-1 to Alfonzo. Too high, ball 3. And now Chouinard 1 pitch away from forcing in the go-ahead run. And he'll go off the back of the mound and rub up the baseball trying to figure out what to do next.
Well, do you take one or to try to work out a walk, or do you go ahead and hit it if it's a good pitch to hit?
Fonzie, a very disciplined hitter, waiting at the plate. Chouinard set. The 3-1 pitch and a drive in the air to deep left field. Down the line. Gone if it stays fair. That ball is out of here. Out of here. Grand slam home run. Alfonzo, a grand slam in the top of the 9th. And the Mets have taken an 8-4 lead. Alfonzo hit it out of sight down the left field line, just inside the foul pole. His second home run of the game. Alfonzo with a grand slam with 2 out in the top of the 9th. And the Mets have taken an 8-4 lead. A stunning moment for the New York Mets. Edgardo Alfonzo with a big home run last night. A home run in the first inning tonight. And a grand slam in the 9th inning to give the Mets an 8-4 lead.
Oh, I was so worried that might go foul at the last moment. He hit it down the line, and he hit it long enough to be 2 home runs.
A huge hit for the New York Mets, and they start heading for the exits here in Phoenix. The pitch to Olerud in for a call strike, 0-1. Just when it looked as though the Mets were going to be turned aside on the great play by Matt Williams, Edgardo Alfonzo comes through again in the clutch for the New York Mets. Here's the pitch to Olerud, swinging a bouncer foul up the first base side.
He was certainly ready to hit that 3-1 pitch. And oh, did he ever hit it. He's doing everything so well.
Well, he's been a huge hero for the Mets all year long. And Edgardo Alfonzo, with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs tonight, has done it again. 8-4 New York. The pitch on the way to Olerud, low and inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Olerud hit a 2-run homer off Randy Johnson back in the 3rd inning. At the time, it gave the Mets a 3-0 lead. The Mets led 4-1 before the Diamondbacks tied it, and it stayed tied until here in the 9th. The 1-2 pitch popped it up foul, third base side. That'll go out of play. Still 1-2 to Olerud.
3 big home runs for the New York Mets here tonight. Not as big as the last one, just stroked by Edgardo Alfonzo.
Well, Alfonzo, 3 days in a row, has had huge hits for the Mets. He had the base hit that set up the winning run on Sunday. He hit the 2-run homer last night, and tonight, the biggest hit of all. The 1-2 pitch, line drive over short. That's a base hit going into left field for John Olerud. Cutting over toward the gap to plate is Finley, and he'll hold Olerud to a single for John Olerud, his 3rd hit of the night. And the Mets now have 10 hits in the game. The crowd stunned here in Phoenix, and many of them beginning to find their way home. Armando Benitez was warming up in the bullpen. We'll see whether he or Wendell or somebody else pitches the 9th inning. In the 9th, Rubio Durazo, Steve Finley, and Hanley Frias, the scheduled hitters for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Here's Mike Piazza, 1 for 4 on the night. Olerud at first and 2 out. Here's the pitch, and it's off the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes.
7 runs will be charged to Randy Johnson, so if the Mets can win this game, they will have beaten the man they call the big unit.
And Randy Johnson would have a 6-game postseason losing streak, and that would be a major league record. Stunning. The 1-0 to Piazza, hit off the end of the bat down to first, grabbed by Durazo. He'll take it to the bag himself, and the inning is over. But the damage long since done. Edgardo Alfonzo with a grand slam home run, and the Mets score 4 runs in the 9th inning. There were 4 hits, and 1 man left on. Middle of the 9th in Phoenix, the Mets 8, the Diamondbacks 4 on the WFAN Mets Radio Network. Cohen, Bob Murphy with you from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. 2 out, last of the 9th. Mets 8, Diamondbacks 4. Hanley Frias, the last hope for Arizona. Batting left-handed, takes a call strike from Armando Benitez, 0-1. Former Met Lenny Harris has come out on deck. He'll pinch hit for Kelly Stinnett if Frias can keep it going. Frias is 0 for 3 on the night. Benitez set. Here's the 0-1 to Frias. And it's on the outside corner, a call strike, 0-2.
If the Mets win tonight, they will have accomplished what a goal would be when you come in postseason like this, and that's to get a split of the 2 games on the road.
Now Benitez is set. The 0-2 pitch to Frias, just outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, particularly when you're facing a stud number 1 starting pitcher, the way the Mets did tonight in Randy Johnson, and they stared him down. They hit him early, and they hit him late. And they will tag Randy Johnson with his 6th consecutive postseason loss, a new major league record. The set by Benitez, the 1-2 to Frias, just off the outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Randy Johnson gets tagged with 7 runs and 8 hits over 8 1/3 innings. And then Alfonzo hits the game-winning grand slam off Bobby Schwinard. Curious choice by Buck Showalter, and he'll have to talk about that after the game, why he went to Schwinard and not to Matt Manti, who was also warming up. 2-2 the count to Frias. Benitez set. Now the pitch, and a high pop-up on the infield. It should end the game. In from third base comes Ventura right near the mound. Ventura makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Mets have taken Game 1 here in Phoenix on Edgardo Alfonzo's grand slam in the 9th inning. Armando Benitez shuts it down, a 1-2-3 9th, and the Mets have taken Game 1 from the Arizona Diamondbacks. In the 9th inning, nothing across. The final score tonight at Bank One Ballpark, the Mets 8 and the Diamondbacks 4. Back to talk about it in a moment on the WFAN Mets Radio Network.